Live from Father Blythe Field at Layton Stadium in downtown South Bend, the Regional Radio Sports Network brings you South Bend St. Joseph Huskies football. Tonight, week 4 of the 2025 regular season, and it's the 65th Holy War meeting between the Knights of Mishawaka Marian High School and the St. Joseph Huskies. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. J.P. Gilbert, along with my broadcast partner, Ron Aklinski, and Megan Keeble, bringing you all the sights and sounds from tonight's ball game. And Ron, the Huskies come into tonight's matchup fresh off a 43-13 taming of the New Prairie Cougars, and they did it in all ways you can imagine. Offense, defense, and special teams.
Yeah, so New Prairie starts the game out with a nice drive, and probably takes 5 or 6 or 7 minutes off the clock. And when you're playing against a good offensive team like the Huskies are, you want to keep them on the sideline for a while. And New Prairie goes down, they score. I'm pretty sure that the St. Joe coaches were a little anxious at that point, because the one thing that they may have thought about was, man, what happens if we can't stop Robinson? But then all of a sudden the kickoff comes down to James Cornetti, and he says, Coach, don't worry about it. He takes it to the house. Within 12 seconds, the game's tied up, and St. Joe rolls from there. So a great opening conference victory for the Huskies. And then again, Mishawaka Marian goes and plays South Bend Adams and pitches a shutout and wins 21-0. So now you got both teams coming in to the NIC 1-0. St. Joe leads the all-time series. I believe it's 36-28. And back in the 70s when I was in Indy, and you can bet we won that series. But here's a little trivia. Like you and I always talk about trivia.
We do.
Who was the head coach of Mishawaka Marian from like 73 to 78?
Ooh. That's a tough one. You're going to have to tell me that one.
Mike Heklinski, my brother.
Oh.
And the Marian Knights during that time period won 3 state championships.
Well, I'll tell you what, Thanksgiving dinner must have been rough at your house, because the two.
Yeah. No, we didn't really talk to Mick during the fall.
Well, we switch gears to the Knights. Mike Davidson brings his crew over here, shored a lot of things up since that opening night loss. And as you made mention, that shutout last weekend against Adams. This is a team that is coming in, chip on their shoulder. They won last year's matchup over at Otulski Field 27-0. They want to come back here and take St. Joe's home field advantage away from them. As Coach Ron mentioned, St. Joe leads the all-time series 36-28. Longest winning streak wasn't during when your brother was coaching. It was from 83 to 90. St. Joe won 8 meetings in a row. Marian won 5 in a row from 67 to 71. The last time Marian won here, you got to go back a couple years ago, a 16-10 win over St. Joe. St. Joe, last time they won, you got to go back even further. They beat Marian at Marian in overtime, 28-21. And the last time they won here, you got to go even further back. How about 2018? Wow. 7 years since the last time the Huskies, then the Indians, beat Marian at home 7-6. Coach Ben Downey 5-7 against Marian all time as a head coach, but should be a good one here in week 4 between the Cougars and Huskies. And when we come back, we go one-on-one with Mike Davidson, his 8th season as head coach of the Marian Knights. He's 5-2 all time against the Huskies. So we'll see what he has to say about this great meeting between the Huskies and the Knights as you're watching pregame coverage of St. Joseph Huskies football right here on the Regional Radio Sports Network.
Hi, this is Paul Condry of the Regional Radio Sports Network. That may be my professional title, but did you know that I'm also the son of a U.S. Navy World War II veteran and the proud father of a United States Marine? Let me share with you something very close to my heart. It's called the Semper Fi Fund and its program America's Fund, which provides immediate lifetime support for post-9/11 wounded, critically ill, and injured members of the U.S. Armed Forces, veterans, and their families to ease recovery and transition back home to their communities. The Semper Fi Fund, serving those who preserve our freedom. The basic idea that drives these efforts is simple. For as much as our heroes have sacrificed, they deserve the best care and support available in their hour of need, whenever it may occur. The Semper Fi Fund, a 4-star charity and an A+ rating, has served over 16,000 members since 2004. The Semper Fi Fund, serving those who preserve our freedom. For more information, visit them online at www.semperfifund.org.
Childhood cancer it's a long road. It's hard, but St. Jude has gotten us through it. St. Jude is hope that you have a chance at life. And it goes such a long way for every child diagnosed with cancer because everything that's learned is shared all over the world. It's awesome.
Finding cures, saving children. Learn more at stjude.org.
Welcome back to Regional Radio Sports Network's coverage of high school football. The Marian Knights get set to take on the St. Joseph Huskies in the Holy War version 2025. Glad to be joined by the head coach in his 8th season of Mishawaka Marian, Mr. Mike Davidson. And Coach, let's go back to that Adams game, a 21-0 defeat of the Eagles. What did you guys as a coaching staff like from your team? You got to like everything when you get a shutout, but I'm sure there are some of the things that kind of threw a red flag up.
Yeah, as far as the week before, not finishing against CMA, and we saw that from our guys last week. We're still not finishing drives offensively, and most of the time it's self-inflicted. It's not they out-schemed something against us, or they had better Jimmies and Joes or anything along those lines. We made some bonehead plays, and so we got to clean that up. We know tonight, and then obviously like learning defensively. Our guys are getting a little bit better each week. We're still making mistakes, too many missed tackles, but we are playing faster. We're playing a little bit more confident, a little bit faster each week. So that was good to see.
We normally talk about a player or two, but I'm going to actually talk to you about a different group that you see on a daily basis. That's the rest of your coaching staff. What kind of adjustments have they made throughout the season? But just talk about what each of them kind of bring to the table, because you've got a very, very talented coaching staff, and the product on the field is a direct result of that.
Absolutely, and all the credit to them. I ask a lot of them, and believe it or not, there's not a big payday for them. Not even the payday candy bar, which is one of my favorites. But no, they do a great job. And we got some new guys, Paul Pignoni and Andrew Cook, both on the offensive side. They've stepped in and gelled really, really well. And I think the biggest thing is I don't think anybody has any egos. Offensively and defensively, special teams. Nobody's got any egos. Everybody's willing to do their part, and long and short of it is everyone's committed to the ultimate goal of putting our kids in the best position to win and best position to succeed, and that's our number one job as a coaching staff.
Rivalry game like this, you can talk about winning the turnover battle or making the big plays, but more often than not, it's line play that will determine these kind of games. What does your line on both sides of the ball have to do to make sure that the Knights come out with a victory?
Yeah, we've got to control their front seven offensively. Their defensive front seven is fast, physical, cause a lot of problems in the backfield. So we've got to do a good job of handling them to get our run game going. We're gonna rely on our run game. I don't think that there's any question of that when you complete one pass last week and just a handful the week or two before. So, offensively, our offensive line has been a strength for us. We're going to rely on that. Defensively, we've got to get off blocks. I think our defensive line has played well and owned the line of scrimmage. We got to take the next step as far as, yes, get our hands on and maintain our gap. Now, get off blocks and make more plays because we got the talent to do so. Caden Lee and Seth Cruzita are terrors up there, and I expect them to be able to do that tonight.
One of those guys that the line opens up those big holes for is Vinny Gruber. Just talk about his maturation as the year has gone on. Picked up a 100-yard game last week against the Eagles. Just tell us a little bit about him, what makes him so special.
Vinny's for 140 whatever pounds, if he's that. He's a tough kid. He's got really good vision. He's got good patience as far as letting the blocking scheme develop. He still has a little bit of the young attitude of wanting to bounce things when we can get north and south, but for the most part, he does a really, really good job. And on top of that, he's one of the hardest working kids. I mean, he's a really good baseball player, but he's there all summer. He's in the off season at our early morning workouts and whatnot. So it's easy for other guys to know we can depend on him when we see that.
All right, you make the trip across town to take on St. Joe in the Holy War. What do they do that causes trouble for you guys, and what are you going to be most looking for your team to come out of Holy War 25 with another victory?
Yeah, I mentioned defensively their front seven really causing problems in the backfield. It starts there for us. If we can handle that, we're gonna have a shot offensively. Defensively, we got to make them take 2, 3, 4, 5 yards, not chunk plays, and make them drive the field and really earn it.
Mike, best of luck tonight.
All right, thanks a lot.
When we come back, we'll go one-on-one with Ben Downey, the coach of the St. Joe Huskies, as you're watching high school football here on the Regional Radio Sports Network.
Did you know there's a place right here in Mishawaka that provides comfort and care for families of sick or injured children? Ronald McDonald House Charities of Mishawaka gives families everything they need, whether it's a hot shower, a comfortable bed, or a home-cooked meal. This allows parents to truly prioritize the health and well-being of their child. Because of people in this community just like you, RMHC Mishawaka provides their services at zero cost to the families. Find out how you can volunteer or donate to rmhcmishawaka.org.
Welcome back to Regional Radio Sports Network's coverage of high school football. Glad to be joined by the head coach of the St. Joe Huskies, Ben Downey. And Coach, go back to that New Prairie game. You guys were able to dominate New Prairie. Other than maybe that first drive, it was all St. Joe. You guys were able to do it offensively, defensively, and on special teams. Just talk a little bit what your coaching staff took from that game in a positive direction for the Huskies.
The main thing that we took is that if we have a really good week of practice, we'll probably have a really good game. That was the most energy and focus that we've ever strung together with consecutive practices since I returned to coaching a few years back. So, but it's the type of lesson you want your team to learn. Like, that's how it should be.
We usually talk about an individual player or two, but let's turn the focus to the guys that you also see on an everyday basis. We're talking about your coaching staff. Just what kind of energy do they bring? And just talk them up a little bit, because they put in as much hard work as the kids do, and most of it is not seen by the people that come here and watch it on game day.
Yeah, so, the task of getting the program on track is the greatest challenge that I've ever taken on and that my family's ever taken on. And thankfully, I've had the assistance of these coaches to help me with that challenge. And as a father of two, I couldn't handpick more good role models and better role models for my own kids to be around. So that's honestly probably my favorite part about coaching right now, is that I just get to have these phenomenal leaders throughout the community that are helping each and every individual player on our program.
I asked Mike Davidson this same question. Usually in a rivalry game, line play, more so the turnovers or the big plays, is what's important, because you got to protect your quarterback. On the offensive side, you got to protect your running back as well. But on the defensive side, you want to get after the quarterback and running back. But to you, how important is D play in the trenches going to be for your squad tonight?
It's definitely the biggest factor. Everybody loves to have the fancy, explosive folks on the perimeter, including us. But it's really hard to take advantage of those guys if you can't get the ball off. So last year's game came down to the trenches, and we had some injuries on the offensive line, but they also deserve a ton of credit with how their defensive front played and how special some of those guys were. So I think that it definitely comes down to what happens on the fronts.
One of those kids that can make that explosive play every time he touches the ball is Franco Biffle. Just what have you seen from him throughout not just the summer, but the first 3 games of the regular season that makes you appreciate just how much he's matured over the course of his time here at St. Joe?
He just started maturing more as a leader on and off the field. It started last winter, and he's always been gifted. He's just a super laid-back, kind of easygoing fella. And there are certainly perks to being like that. You don't get too stressed about certain things. But what he needed individually and what the team needed was for him to really step his game up. He could still stay positive, but we needed him to get after it as much as he possibly could and motivate others to do the same, and he's done just that.
All right, Mike brings his squad over here from Marian, 65th meeting. You've been a part of a lot of these as a player and as a coach. Other than line play, what are going to be some of the keys for the Huskies to come out of it with a victory? But in that point, what does Mike's team bring to the table that could cause your team some problems?
So they bring just discipline and commitment to the table. And so you're rarely going to find people in a bad position. Most of the things that we see on film just display plenty of just good sound football. And, some things besides the line play that'll be factors today is, which guys can keep their emotions in check, not do anything stupid, and then who can communicate better and bounce back from bad plays.
All right, Ben. Hey, good luck tonight. Let's go 4-0.
Thank you.
We'll be back with more here on the Regional Radio Sports Network.
Hey, what about Liuna? The 12,000 Hoosier men and women with laborers, district council, and affiliated local unions that build Indiana. We are Liuna.
Beef O'Brady's in Granger now features Fish and Chips Fridays. Enjoy 4 fried cod fillets with fries and coleslaw for just $10.99. Located at State Road 23 in Bittersweet. Beef's is open for lunch at 11 a.m. 7 days a week. For more information, the website's www.beefobradys.com or call 574-271-1415. Beef O'Brady's, good food, good sports.
Tonight's broadcast is being underwritten by our friends at Cubit Network, located at 103 Polk Street in LaPorte. Cubit Networks takes pride in helping keep their customers happy for all their technology needs. More information can be found on their website at cubitnet.com or by phone at 219-369-4357. Cubit Networks, moving and storing data fast and safe.
Today's broadcast is underwritten by McDonald Physical Therapy and Sports Rehabilitation Center with 2 locations at 1005 Hickory Road in South Bend and on the campus of the University of Notre Dame just down the road from here. J.P. Gilbert, Ronna Klinsky, and Megan Keeble, 65th version of the Holy War. You've been a part of a few of these, my friend. What do you have to do as an athlete and as a coach to kind of quell the emotions? It's going to be an emotional game. You want to beat your city rival as much as they want to beat you, but what do you got to do as a player and as a coach to kind of quell the emotions, especially in the early going?
Well, the one thing that you have to do when you play in rivalry games like this, I've played in a lot of major rivalry games. I've coached in a million rivalry games, and the first thing you do is throw the records out the window. I mean, St. Joe at 3-0 and Marian at 2-1. It doesn't matter who you played before or who you beat, because both teams will rise to a fever pitch tonight, and both teams will bring their A game tonight. At least that's what you would expect in a rivalry game. So that's the one thing on both ends of it as a player and a coach that I learned. Forget the records. This is the Holy War, and this thing will be settled tonight on Father Bly Field. And it may be the team that's undefeated. It may be the team that loses the game, but this will be a war.
This is the 65th version of the Holy War. A year ago, Marian held serve on home turf, winning 27-0 over at Bob Otolsky Field in Mishawaka. Let's get you the starting lineups for tonight's ball game. We're going to start with the St. Joe offense, and St. Joe comes in coached by Ben Downey. This is a team that averages 330 yards a contest and 35 points per outing. The offensive line, it's a veteran line, and it's a good one. Nick Ortiz, the left tackle, 6'4", 275. Trinter, Hardy, Schmidt, and Snavely. Will Trinter, 6'5", 2 1/4. As a sophomore, Zach Hardy, 5'8", 250, and a junior. Fletcher Schmidt, 6 foot, 220, and a junior. And Jayton Snavely, 6'5", 315, and a junior. Tight end is going to be Austin Radigan, 6'4", 225, and a senior. You see the wide receivers on your screen. Ross Downey and Mr. Electric himself, James Cernity. Had a chance to talk with him for a little bit on pregame. He is ready to go. And don't let that 6 foot, 200-pound frame fool you. He is a big human being. and he's also a very physical human being, and he is electric. Watch for him in the special teams. It'll be interesting to see if Coach Mike Davidson kicks it his direction. Franco Biffle, the outstanding running back, 6'1", 190-pound senior, 34 rushes, 196 yards to lead the entire team. He also has a touchdown and a couple of pass receptions. Anthony Gooby will get the starting nod. We will see Sam Shikatano at various points in this contest. Gooby, 5'10", 180 junior. He's 14 of 23 for 204 yards and 4 scores. This St. Joe offense, when they're clicking, they're very difficult to beat.
Well, I mean, they can beat you in so many ways. They can beat you through the air. They're averaging about 171 passing yards per game. They can beat you on the ground at about 159 yards on the ground. And by the way, Franco Biffle is averaging 5.7 yards per carry. So at the end of the day, if you're the OC for St. Joe, you say, hey, rush the ball 3 times to Franco, automatic first down, and move the chains. Stay ahead of the chains. So they are very, very tough to game plan for. Are you going to stack the box? Are you going to put 8 defenders in the box? If you do that, I guarantee you St. Joe will come and sling the ball all over the field. They're very versatile, and they're a very good offensive team.
We flip the script over to the Marian Knight defense. This is a team that gave up 330 yards on the ground to Mishawaka in week 1. What did they do last week? Only 180 yards against the Adams Eagles, and no points as well. Front 4, Seth Curzetter, Caden Lee, Ciupelli Sete, and Isaac Walton. Curzetter, the leader on that defensive front 4. He can also play a little bit of defensive tackle. He's 6 foot 220 and a senior. Lee, 6'1", 275 senior. Sete, 5'9", 250 and a sophomore. And Isaac Walton, 6'1", 235 senior. Linebacking core, they have combined for over almost 60 tackles through the first 3 matchups. Braden Cerny, 6'1", 193 junior. Doran Brooks, 6'1", 235 and a senior. And J.J. Gruber, 5'11", 211 and a senior. The secondary, Terrence Lane, 5'5", 137 and a senior. Don't let his size fool you. He has 2 picks, and he can be just as electric as Crinity for the Huskies. Mitch Fimble, 5'11", 183 and a senior. Parker Mrozinski, 5'8", 162 and a junior. And Gage McHugh, 5'11", 152 and a junior. We flip the card over. We look at the Marian Knights offense, led by Mr. Excitement on the front line. He's a 2-sport athlete, all-state in both, in my opinion. Left tackle Prescott Horvath, and it's great to have a left tackle with size. 6'8", 266 and a senior. That's always great if you have a guy like that protecting your quarterback.
Well, so here's my question. Prescott, what are you doing Sunday? The Bears need a left tackle in Detroit. You think you could show up and play for him? That's massive size, and he's got great footwork. He's a basketball player. One of the things that I look for when I see a big person is how they move their feet. He moves his feet tremendously.
The rest of that front 5, Caden Lee, 6'1", 275 senior. Preston Shue, the man in the middle, 5'9", 258 and a senior. Sam Curlo, 6 foot 246 and a senior. And Doran Brooks, 6'1", 235 and a senior. The backs and tight ends, Damian Sete, 5'10", 203 sophomore. And Jackson Simonowski, 6 foot, 149 junior. Terrence Lane, 5'5", 137-pound senior. And Terrell Lane, 5'5", 136 and a junior. Vinny Gruber will be the man to call on for doing a lot of the rushing. Gained 100 yards plus in that win over the Adams Eagles. Comes in 5'7", 151 and a sophomore. For the defense for the St. Joe Huskies, a little bit of moving around. Up front, it's going to be Austin Radigan, Aaron Wills, and Charlie Gruey. Radigan, 6'4", 225 senior. Wills, 6'1", 230 and a sophomore. Gruey, he'll play a little bit of line. He'll also play a little bit of linebacker as well. 6'5", 200 and a senior. Connor Gallagher, another one of those guys that'll play a little bit of both. 6'2", 195 and a sophomore. Jackson Troster, 5'11", 175 and a senior. Mason Kazmierzak, 5'11", 200 and a senior. And we'll see Jackson Kelly move in and out of the lineup. He'll play a little bit of end. He'll also play a little bit of linebacker. 5'8", 190 and a junior. Had a safety in that game against New Prairie a week ago. The secondary, Jack Keegan, 6'2", 170 and a senior. James Crinity, 6 foot, 200-pound junior. Ryan Ruskowski, 5'7", 150, and a junior, and Evan Balin, 5'9", 150, and a senior. The two safeties, well, they've only combined for 40 tackles and 4 interceptions. Ruskowski had a big one last week against New Prairie, a 29-yard interception return that pretty much iced the game.
Pick 6 by Ryan Rutz, and did a nice job of reading the quarterback's eyes. Picked it off in the middle of the field and scampered home. When you talk about Marion's offense now, they are predictable. They average about 63 passing yards a game and 197 rushing yards a game. So they're 3-to-1 run to pass. Whereas as you look at St. Joe's probably 1-to-1 run to pass. So look for St. Joe to maybe play a lot of 8-man fronts. 8 men in the box, and to beat that, Marion's going to have to put the ball up in the air a little bit. Now, there were a couple names that you didn't hear in the starting lineup for the Huskies. Kobe Ado has an elbow injury, and he will be out from a couple of games. David Waite's still battling a quad injury. He is out tonight. And then just a massive young human being, Bane Wolf, at about 6'4", 295. I think on the last play of the game against New Prairie had an ankle injury, so he won't play tonight either. So when you talk about the St. Joe D, that'll be a challenge, finding those minutes for Kobe Ado.
We're going to step aside. When we come back, we'll have the opening kickoff of the 65th Holy War right here on the Regional Radio Sports Network as we thank our friends from Lyuna as you're watching St. Joseph Huskies football right here on the Regional Radio Sports Network. Back here at Father Bly Field at Layton Stadium as the captains are on the field for the coin toss. As hugs and handshakes being handed out aplenty in this one. The Huskies will wear the home black with the blue numbers on the front and the back of the unis outlined in white. Numbers also on the helmet in the blue as well. Marian in the away whites with the blue and silver trim. Numbers in blue on the front and the back of the jerseys. And the Knights have won the toss, and they have elected to receive. And if you're Mike Davidson, this is your chance to get to strike first against St. Joe and try to take the team and the crowd out of this ball game.
Yeah, no, this is an electric atmosphere. Both teams are really fired up. And, the emotion. So when I've coached in these games, I often thought that the team that can take the emotion out of the game the earliest has the best chance to win, because then it just comes down to playing football or basketball or whatever sport you're doing. So whichever team can get the emotion out early, I think can settle down and play their game. It kind of surprises me that Marian decides to take the ball, because the way teams do it nowadays is they defer and they want the ball to start the second half.
As Ryder Place will set the ball off on the tee. He had 7 kickoffs a week ago against New Prairie, 3 of them for touchbacks. And Terrence Lane, the 5'5", 137-pound senior, averaging about 9.5 yards a return. He is sitting back at about his own 4-yard line. Huskies will go from left to right on your computer screen or mobile device. The Knights going from right to left, going from the west to the east. Gruey's got the ball teed up at the 40. Takes a couple steps to his left. Gets the signal from the officials. And we are underway for Holy War 65 as the opening kick goes right into the end zone. And it'll be a touchback. Marian will take over 1st and 10 at their own 20.
That's such an advantage when your special teams can kick the ball out of the end zone, and now there's no threat of a run back. And we'll see St. Joe lock in on the defensive side of the ball now, and we highly expect Marian to come out running the football. We'll see how the Huskies defend this right off the jump.
Mitch Fimble brings his team to the line. The 5'11", 183-pound senior. 5 of 7 on the year, 96 yards. He's also rushed for a touchdown. He'll have Vinny Gruber in the backfield on his left hip, as he's got one receiver to his immediate left. And Fimble going to call his own number, going to try to take it to the outside, and he is met right away and smacked back behind the line of scrimmage.
Braden Cerny, the ball carrier.
Nice job by the Husky defense to take away any part of the edge that Marian thought that they would get. Their containment was outstanding.
Brought down by Jackson Troster.
And Jackson Troster, the middle linebacker, got out and made the initial hit, followed by 7 other Huskies. Who let the dogs out?
It's a pack of Huskies going after Mr. Fimble. Has a loss of 1. It's 2nd and 11. Fimble going to hand it off right to Gruber, and Gruber's not going to go anywhere either. And again, the Huskies.
Gruber, the ball carrier, brought down for a 4-yard loss.
Mason Kazmarek, the 5'11", 200-pound senior inside linebacker, was the first to get there and stand him up, and then the rest of the Huskies came and finished the tackle. Mason's got 24 tackles, 3 tackles for losses this year.
And Gruber rushed for over 100 yards in that 21-0 win over Adams last weekend at Rotulski Field. This is a completely different animal, no pun intended. Thought you'd like that one.
Who let the dogs out?
3rd and 15 for Fimble and the Knights. He'll send a man in motion. 3-step drop. He's got Lane here on the near side. Pass is complete, and he'll have enough for a first down.
Maybe not. Maybe a yard or 2 short. It was really a nice out pattern.
Oh, he is going to be short.
Really a nice out cut by Terrence Lane. Looks like the Knights are going to get up to the line of scrimmage quickly, as it's 4th and maybe 3. And either try and draw the Huskies offside or actually run a play.
12-yard pickup, 4th and 3 from the 27. As Fimble going to take a couple steps back. They are going to snap it. Instead, he's going to pooch punt it. And no one back for the Huskies. And that takes a St. Joe bounce. It'll come back at about the 30-yard line.
That's a really good decision by Marian, and obviously you can't go for it on your 27-yard line this early in the game. But just the fact that you lined up in an offensive position allowed the Huskies not to send anybody back. And so James Crinitti did not have an opportunity to get his hands on that punt.
43-yard punt for Fimble. No return on the play. We'll flip the lineup cards over. And
it looks like
they are going to go with Chickatano to start.
He's going to get the opening rep here.
Chickatano, 6'1", 170 junior. He'll take the opening snap. He'll hand it off to Biffle, who's at the 35. Makes another man miss. And he's close to about the 38-yard line before a group of Knights knock him down.
Really nice run by Biffle. probably 7 or 8 yards. And at the end of the day, he's averaging 5.8. So why not give him the ball, right? He's really strong when he gets his shoulder square and takes the ball up the middle for the Huskies.
They're going to give him 8 on the carry. It'll be 2nd and 2 from the 38. Chickatano, he'll hand it off. This time, he's going to go to Antoine Ross. Cuts the corner. He's got the first down, and he'll dip out of bounds. And Ross will have a first down for the Huskies.
Biffle is the grounder and the pounder, and Antoine Ross has speed and can get to the outside. That time Ross got to the outside and picked up the first down.
So a pickup of 4 on the play for the junior. He's Mr. Everything. He has rushed for 124 yards. He's also caught 4 passes for 68 on the year. So 1st and 10 from the 42. Chickatano hands it off to Biffle. Biffle's going to get a couple.
Franco Biffle, the ball carrier.
So a little ground and pound for St. Joe. It'll be a pickup of 1 as Parker Mrozinski comes up from his strong safety position to make the tackle.
Really nice effort by Mrozinski. Diagnosed the play quickly and filled the gap and held Biffle to a gain of a yard. Mrozinski at 5'8", 162, filled that gap quickly.
So 10 on the play clock for the Huskies as the ball is on the right hash mark. And they'll take a timeout. That'll give us a chance to thank some of our friends as McDonald Physical Therapy and Sports Rehabilitation Center with 2 locations at 1005 Hickory Road in South Bend on the campus of the University of Notre Dame. They've been treating the coaches and athletes from area high schools as well as the universities of Notre Dame, Bethel, IUSB, and Holy Cross College for 35 years. They've worked with professional athletes with BFR muscle training, anti-gravity treadmill, A-STEM, HydroWorks, and have a 14,000 square foot facility. No need for a referral from a doctor. Feel free to call McDonald Physical Therapy and Sports Rehab at 574-233-5754.
The proud members of the Indiana Laborers District Council and affiliate local unions who build Indiana. We are LIUNA, and I am one of those people that Fran McDonald has worked with individually. I wouldn't call myself a professional. I might call myself an amateur athlete, but Fran McDonald does a tremendous job.
Lots of movement before the ball is snapped as a jumbo package towards the left side. High snap. Chickatano pulls it down, and running with authority is going to be Biffle. And little extracurricular activities, and we see our first flag of the afternoon.
Yeah, in all the motion, I'm not sure that the Huskies got themselves set and are called for a motion penalty. But really a nice play design. Probably three running backs, receivers, tight end shift to the left side of the formation, and the Huskies send Biffle to the right side of the formation, undermanned by Marian. And he cranked off probably about 15 yards, but the play comes back.
And there's going to be 2 flags on the play, one right in the middle of the field at about the 42, and one at the end of the play. So this could be big news for the Huskies. A personal foul and offsides on the defense. On the Huskies.
Personal foul and a motion penalty on the Huskies. And that takes them way back to where it is going to be second down and forever.
Second down in half the county.
Second down and the Marycrest building on Western Avenue where my dad and his twin brother were dentists.
Well, the first down marker is at the Marian 48. They are looking at second down and 37 at this point.
Penalties bring up a 2nd and 38.
Well, they're going to call it 38 as the ball rests on the 14-yard line. Chickatano, lots of time to pass. He'll dump it off to Ross, or to Biffle rather, and Biffle's forced out of bounds.
J.J. Gruber on the tackle, semi-screen pass, and Gruber sniffed it out, and a very minimal gain for the Huskies, and maybe no gain.
We'll call it a gain. They'll call it a gain of 1. And again, it'll be 3rd and the county, 38 yards. And Shikatano rolls out, and that one is dropped on the far side. So what started as a promising drive falters, and now the Huskies are going to have to punt.
10-yard out pattern to Dallas Downey. The ball was a little low. Downey couldn't make the catch. It would not have been enough for a first down, but it would have gave the Huskies a little more room to punt.
As Ryder Place is standing on his goal line, and Terrence Lane is standing at about his own 41. Marion's going to have some great field position as this punt takes a Marian bounce into the hands of Lane, and Lane will be dropped at about the 48, about a 5-yard return.
And it very easily could have been a block in the back by the Knights on that 5-yard punt return, but it wasn't called. Great field position at the 47-yard line of Marian.
43-yard punt. We'll call it a 5-yard return for Lane. And with 7:41 remaining in the opening quarter.
Not exactly how you wanted to start the game if you're Ben Downey and the St. Joe offense. 2 or 3 really nice plays. And then I didn't see the unsportsmanlike conduct, didn't know who it was on. Obviously, we don't get that information. Well, but I know that's not going to go over well.
Biffle brought his hands up at the end of the play, whether that was the personal foul. That is up for the official to decide. But a little bit of a wildcat formation as Lane takes the snap on the shotgun, and he's not going to get far. There's a lot of extra pushing and shoving after the fact.
Alfred Foltz, the senior, number 53, the first defender on the tackle for the Huskies.
So no gain on the play for Lane. And now we'll see Lucas Carr in at quarterback. We have seen this all season with Marian. Both Thimble and Marr have been under center, or in this case, the shotgun formation, as Marr's got stripped to the right. And the pass is picked off. An outstretched catch. Well, the far official is going to say incomplete.
Lucas Marr's pass is ruled incomplete.
They're going to say the ball hit the turf, and obviously we would certainly like to be equipped with replay up here, but nonetheless, what a great effort.
So the Knights dodge a bullet there. St. Joe would have had their best field position of the night. Instead, it's going to bring up 3rd and 10 from the 48. Marr in the shotgun. He's got trips to the right, Gruber to his hip, and he'll roll out to the right, and Marr is just going to fling it as far as he can south. And that'll bring up 4th down.
Yeah, I mean, what a great play by the outside linebacker, Charlie Greer. Charlie shed the blocker and put the pressure on Marr. Now, the only thing with Marr, when he comes into the game, I mean, you know it's going to be a pass. He's thrown for 94 yards this year, and Charlie realized that and really put the heat on him.
So that'll bring up 4th and 9 from the 48. As Thimble going to let one fly, and he's going to keep it away from Cornetti, but instead it's Downey. He's to the 25, Now to the 30, to the 35, and he's finally going to be wrapped up and sent out of bounds.
St. Joe was not fooled by the fact that Marian kept their offense on the field, and Fimble probably took 2 steps deeper than he would in a shotgun formation. They sent back Crinity and Dallas Downey. Dallas with a nice return sets the Huskies up at their own 38-yard line for a 1st and 10.
43-yard punt by Fimble. 29 yards on the return for Downey. So with 6:37 remaining in the first quarter, St. Joe with the ball at their own 38-yard line. Now Gooby in it, or Shikatano still in at quarterback. And the pass is fumbled, and
the pass is caught by Dallas Downey for about a 6-yard gain. Turned it up, tried to get to the middle, fumbled the ball. Marian has recovered. They will have it 1st and 10 at the St. Joe 47-yard line. A very auspicious start for the St. Joe offense. Downey would have had a nice 7-yard gain, but tried to come back to the middle. The black or the back flow defensively for Marian caught up with him, punched it out. The Knights recovered the football.
So Marian takes over. This will be their best field position of the night. They're at the St. Joe 47 with 6:28 remaining in the first quarter. Scoreless here in the Holy War. As Fimble, he's going to run for his life down the right side, and he's going to get sent out of bounds.
The ball carrier, forced out by a bunch of Huskies.
As the pack of Huskies heading that way.
Charles Gruey leading the way.
Gruey was the first man in on Fimble.
Charlie's he's just a hard guy to block. He's 6'5", probably 210, 215, really long, and really does a nice job on containment on the defensive side for the Huskies.
-2 on the carry for Fimble. Knights have rushed 4 times for -7 yards, and movement aplenty on both sides of the ball.
That'll be a false start by Marian.
False start, Marian.
Which will now make it 2nd down and 17 yards. Now it's Marian's turn to go the wrong way.
Brings up 2nd and 17.
Ball is placed at the Marian 46-yard line. Fimble under center, now into the shotgun formation. He's got Gruber in the backfield. He'll send a man in motion. Now Fimble, he'll find Lane, and he's into St. Joe territory. He'll be brought down close to the original line of scrimmage. As he'll get it to the 48.
Nice job by Lane to get out in the flat. Put a little shake and bake move and got into the open field to get back to the original line of scrimmage. Mason Kazmierzak did a nice job of running him down and making that hit.
Lane, 2 catches on the night, 18 yards. And now it's 3rd and 11 for the Knights. Fimble with trips to the right. In the shotgun formation. He's running for his life now, and he will be brought down at about the 42-yard line. Mason Kazmierzak in on the quarterback sack. His first quarterback sack of the season.
Connor Gallagher blitzed from the right side. Kazmierzak came right behind him. The offensive tackle, had to make a choice on which one to pick up. Kazmierzak got the sack.
That's a loss of 9 on the play. And the Knights now punting again. And James Crinity, we don't need to tell you what he did a week ago as he torched New Prairie's special teams. As he'll call for the fair catch, he'll make that catch at about the 33-yard line.
St. Joe will take over at their own 28.
The Regional Radio Sports Network thanks Cubit Networks for their support of high school and college athletics. Since 1986, Cubit Networks is focused on providing a quality experience to their customers. They take computer security seriously and have the necessary tools to keep your digital assets and environment safe. They are located at 103 Polk Street in LaPorte. Phone number is 219-369-4357. Qubit Networks, moving and storing data fast and safe.
Be 1st and 10 for the Huskies at their own 28-yard line. And, Coach, we've played 7 minutes and 10 seconds. Both teams have had the ball 3 times already. As the handoff on the outside is going to go to Biffle.
And Biffle gets real close to that 10-yard gain. I think it's just a tad bit short. Just a toss to the left. The offensive line did a nice job of blocking, and Biffle tried to get to the corner and did a nice job. It's been a defensive fest so far. The Indians or the Huskies have shot themselves in the foot with a fumble and penalties, and the Husky defense has just flat out played the Marian offense.
Chickatano, he'll hand it off, and once again, Biffle trying to get some room to the outside. He's to the 40, and he'll be knocked out of bounds at the 44, but there's laundry on the field. So we'll see if this will stand.
At that area on the field, it's most likely a holding. We'll see.
And that's exactly what it's going to be.
Holding on the Huskies.
So take that.
I didn't see a hold, and apparently the penalty was on Connor Gallagher, and he took some umbrage with the official also.
So that wipes out a 6-yard gain for Biffle. As the ball will be spotted back on the 28-yard line. That run would have had enough for a first down. Instead, we go back to 2nd and 10. Chickatano still in at quarterback. He'll take a couple step drop, fires it to the outside, down, he catches it, and he'll have enough for a first down. Needed at 10, he gets 11, and it's a first down for the Huskies.
2 out patterns on the left side of the field. Austin Radigan, the tight end, ran a quick out, and Dallas Downey got upfield a little farther than Radigan and ran the outs and secured the football this time. Got a first down for the Huskies.
So 2 catches for Downey, 20 yards, as the handoff on the end around is going to go to Ross, and he'll dive forward as he gets past the 45 to about the 46. He'll get 6 on that pickup.
The jet sweep was designed to go outside, and fortunately for Ross, he decided to cut it up and get some yardage because Marian had to play really well defended to the outside.
3 minutes remaining in the opening quarter. Still looking for our first score of Holy War 65. As the handoff is going to go to the up back. And getting back to the line of scrimmage is going to be Champlin.
J.J. Gruber, the outside linebacker, made the hit, which is going to bring up a 3rd and maybe 2.5 here. We'll see what the Huskies decide to do as Biffle comes back in the game and Champlin, the sophomore, comes off.
St. Joe 0 for 1 on 3rd downs here in tonight's ball game.
That's the formation where they shift everybody to the left. Watch Biffle coming back here to the left.
And Biffle tries to get close to the first down. He will be about a yard short. And now decision time for Ben Downey and his coaching staff.
Yeah, this will be the first big decision offensively for the Huskies. We have an injured Husky down, and which will actually give Ben Downey an extra minute or two to decide what he's going to do.
So timeout on the field, 1:49 remaining in the opening quarter. The Huskies and the Knights. Holy War 65 were scoreless from Father Bly Field here at Layton Stadium as you're watching Huskies football here on the Regional Radio Sports Network, brought to us by your friends at Liuna. After we're done. Back here at Father Bly Field at Layton Stadium, it's 4th and 1 for the Huskies. The offense staying out on the field. As Shikatano, he's going to give it to Champlin. He's got the first down. And great job by Nick Ortiz and Will Trinter, the left side of that line. And Champlin had all kinds of real estate to bust through that line.
Yeah, I mean, a really quick hitter. Champlin had some quicks right off the snap, a well-executed play, and the Huskies convert that first down. They are now at the 48-yard line of Marian.
So a 5-yard pickup on 4th down, second first down of the drive for the team wearing the black and blue. As Shikatano's pass is complete to Champlin, and he will be brought down. And Champlin passed the 45 to about the 43.
Champlin trying to read the block by the wide receiver, Dallas Downey, who did a great job of getting up the field, trying to seal the corner for him. Champlin is a sophomore who's got some great quickness. When you take a look at the St. Joe roster, you look at the juniors, the sophomores, and even a couple of freshmen who make contributions.
5-yard pickup on first down, brings up 2nd and 5. Champlin's going to get the ball, and he is going to get wrapped up immediately. As Ciapelli Sete was the first one to grab a hold of Champlin.
And Isaac Walton cleaned it up. A nice job by Marian to hold the point of attack, and that'll be the last play of the first quarter here. Both teams won't have far to go to switch ends, but it's been a great defensive effort. If you're a fan of defense, if you're a fan of offense, you'll say, where did it go?
This is a war of attrition, if you will, in that regard. Scoreless here at the end of one quarter as you're watching Huskies football here on the Regional Radio Sports Network.
It's the Summer Liquidation Spectacular at Gates, your Chevrolet EV headquarters. This is your last chance for $7,500 additional savings on Equinox, Blazer, and Silverado. The more you drive, the more you save. At Gates, South Bend, and Mishawaka. It's the Summer Liquidation Spectacular on now at Gates Toyota. Get 1.9% for 72 months on new Tundras. Or drive a new RAV4 for just $299 per month. Gates Toyota. We liquidate, you save. It's the Summer Liquidation Spectacular now at all Gates locations. The factory orders immediate liquidation of 300 overaged but underpriced units. Save $10,000 on near new vehicles, many under $200 per month. Good credit, bad credit, no credit at all. No one is turned away. Almost every car, truck, and SUV comes with the exclusive Customers for Life warranty at no cost to you. We liquidate, you save. Summer Liquidation Spectacular only at Gates.
As the first play of the second quarter is a mini reverse and breaking into the open, and unfortunately falling at about the 15-yard line
is Ryan Rutkowski, who has not played much offense to date of the 3 games. He got in there and had a quick burst on a little reverse action, takes the ball down to the 17-yard line of Marian.
That's a 31-yard pickup on the play. And that's the third first down of the night for the Huskies. Shikatano Gives the handoff to Biffle, who's to the 15, to the 10. He's going to fight his way towards the first down marker.
Yeah, and we talk about yak, and no, it's not an animal. It's yards after catch or yards after contact. And Franco Biffle was really, really good on that. A 12-yard gain, was hit probably 3 or 4 times, kept his feet churning, and he's now down on close to the 5-yard line as the Huskies get ready to go in.
An 11-yard pickup, 4th first down of the drive. And the Huskies are threatening to get the game's first score. As Shikatano hands it off to Biffle, who's in for the touchdown.
Why not? He's averaging 5.8 yards a carry. The line's doing a really, really nice job. He runs through contact. St. Joe takes the lead in this 65th Holy War 6-zip.
Ryder Place on to attempt the extra point. As the right-footed senior gets ready to boot one home, and he will send that one eastward. He is now 13 of 14 on the season, and the Huskies draw first blood here in the Holy War. We'll step aside when we come back. We'll have the scoring drive for you as you're watching Huskies football on the Regional Radio Sports Network.
Hi, this is Paul Condry of the Regional Radio Sports Network. That may be my professional title, but did you know that I'm also the son of a U.S. Navy World War II veteran and the proud father of a United States Marine? Let me share with you something very close to my heart. It's called the Semper Fi Fund, and its program America's Fund, which provides immediate lifetime support for post-9/11 wounded, critically ill, and injured members of the U.S. Armed Forces, veterans, and their families to ease recovery and transition back home to their communities. The Semper Fi Fund, serving those who preserve our freedom. The basic idea that drives these efforts is simple. For as much as our heroes have sacrificed, they deserve the best care and support available in their hour of need, whenever it may occur. The Semper Fi Fund, a 4-star charity and an A+ rating, has.
Back here at Father Bly Field, J.P. Gilbert, Ron Aklinski, and Megan Keeble with you. Huskies strike first on a 6-yard run by Franco Biffle. As Ryder Place will set it up on the 40. Terrence Lane back at his own 8-yard line for the Knights. As Place, he'll instead go short as one of the up men will take it. And he will fall out of bounds. And it'll be Marian Knight's ball. The scoring drive for the Huskies, 11 plays, 72 yards, 6 minutes and 8 seconds. And a 6-yard run by Biffle. That touchdown drive, the big play, the 31-yard reverse for Ruskowski.
Yeah, Ryan Ruskowski is really, really quick. And you saw that against New Prairie when he intercepted the ball in the middle of the field and got into the end zone. He set that up with that reverse play. Really nice call by Ben Downey.
So now Marian takes over. They'll have the ball at their own 35-yard line. As back to pass is going to be Lucas Marr, and he is sacked.
Mason Kazimierzak shot that gap from his linebacker position and just got to the QB really, really quick. The St. Joe defense is on fire here, JP. Playing really, really well, really quick, reading their keys, and just almost overpowering the Marian Knight offensive line.
8-yard loss on the quarterback sack, 2nd and 18 for Lucas Marr and company. Marr takes the snap. He'll hand it off to Gruber, and Gruber's got nowhere to go.
Connor Gallagher comes up from his outside linebacker position, trails the play, and makes a hit behind the line of scrimmage again. So it is now 3rd and 20. Or as we like to say in the business, 3rd and forever. Not really forever. 20 is doable.
A 3-yard loss on the play. Knights have run 7 rushing plays. They have 1 that has gotten back to the line of scrimmage, 6 negative plays. Marr is going to fire that out over the head of Vinny Gruber. And the Knights are going to be forced to punt, bringing up 4th and 20.
Nice pressure by the interior defensive lineman, number 53, Alfred Schultz. Just did a nice job of putting pressure on the quarterback. And St. Joe forces the Knights again into a punting situation.
Oliver Sager on the punt for the Knights.
Oliver Sager back to punt. Fimble took care of the first 3 punts of the night.
Now there's no tricking anybody. They get into normal punt form. And the
ball goes right through Sager's legs, and he's running for his life, and it's going to be a safety. Ruskowski the first on him.
Yeah, just an ill-advised snap back to the punter. The punter could not corral it. Ruskowski, as we know, is really, really quick. Got in untouched. And a 2-point safety for the Huskies. And again, when you talk about St. Joe, there's so many different ways they score. Offensively, on the ground, through the air, special teams, returns. They had a couple safeties in their last game. They get the safety tonight for a 9-0 lead, and Marian will have to kick off. So we have some fog coming into the booth.
As the
baby powder. I thought we were in the Fog Bowl when the Bears played the Philadelphia Eagles.
I think you and I were the only ones that actually watched that game way back when. But, yeah, both teams with the baby powder when they make a big play. It's not fog rolling in.
Well, I will say this much. It smells really good, but you can't get too much of it in your nose here, man. We're going to walk out of here with white stuff all over us, man.
Oh,
you got a dark beard. You're going to age like 10 years when you get out of this.
I'm going to look like Paul Condry after this one's over.
Look like me.
Nothing but love for Paul Condry, who's out in the region on Patriot Night. He's got Valparaiso and Michigan City over at Viking Field. This is one of his favorite days of the season. He is a proud American, and he loves.
Yeah, and it's a sad day to be a proud American as we see the flags at half-mast with the assassination of a great activist in our country, Charlie Kirk.
Of course, we send our condolences to the Kirk family as the ball is fumbled by Ruskowski. He'll pick it up, and he'll get to the 40, to the 45, to the 50. He's got 2 men to beat, and he's going to get brought down beyond the 35-yard line.
Sometimes when you muff a punt or fumble a kickoff, the defense has a tendency to run by the play. Sometimes you see returns like that. Ryan Ruskowski, who's got great speed, and we've talked about that a lot tonight, got to the corner and was one Marian Knight defender away from taking that ball to the house.
Gage McHugh on the touchdown saving tackle. So the ball will be placed at the 34 after Ruskowski scampered 24 yards. And the best field position for either team tonight at the 24-yard line. Shikatano is going to roll to the right, and now he's going to come back to the left. And he's got a wide open receiver.
Connor Gallagher fell down, actually, and caught the ball while sitting on the ground. And, I mean, what a great job by Sam Shikatano to keep the play alive, roll to his right, come back to his left. Just a special play between Shikatano and Gallagher. Now, we have not seen Anthony Gooby at the quarterback position in this game so far with 8:30 left in the first half.
15-yard pitch and catch from Shikatano to Gallagher, and now Biffle. He'll get to the 15, to the 10, and he's going to get, looks like he's in, and he is. A touchdown for the Huskies. 19-yard run, and the Huskies are now up 15-0.
Yeah, Marian has no answer for Franco Biffle. 19 yards, got hit at the end, kept his balance, and got the ball over the goal line.
So with 8:15 remaining, St. Joe with a chance to make it a 16-0 contest, as Place will attempt to make it a 16-point cushion. Snap is good, hold is down, and Place's kick is blocked. And Marian will take some solace in that fact. It's only a 15-0 score. We'll step aside and we come back. We'll have the scoring drive for you as you're watching Huskies football live on the Regional Radio Sports Network, brought to you by our friends at LiUNA. Nothing score here as the Huskies lead Holy War 65. It was just a two-play, 34-yard drive, 19-yard run by Franco Biffle after the 24-yard free kick return by Ruskowski, as the kick is going to get taken on the far side. And Marian will have the ball. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Marian Knights. Parker Mrozinski with the return. And if you're Coach Mike Davidson, you'll take any kind of break you can get at this point, as the running game has been non-existent.
Marian will begin at their own 34.
They are minus 41 yards in the rushing game so far.
St. Joe's defense has been outstanding, quick to the ball, playing off blocks, and setting the edge.
Ball's placed at the Marian 34-yard line, which is exactly where St. Joe started their last drive. As a high snap is going to be brought down, and Gruber going to pick up a couple. That's the first positive gain on the ground that the Knights have had so far. And here we are, 8 minutes left in the second quarter.
Middle linebacker Jackson Truster filled that gap after a 3-yard gain.
So 3-yard pickup, that'll bring up 2nd and 7. Gruber, who rushed for over 100 against the Eagles, 3 carries, -1 yard in this one. Thimble sends a man in motion. He'll hand it off to Lane, who's to the 45, and he's going to be brought down by Cornetti, and that is going to draw some laundry.
That could be construed as the old horse collar tackle, or maybe he got his hand in the face mask, but nonetheless, it'll be a penalty on the Huskies, and it is for a face mask.
It's a 12-yard pickup for Lane, and then you can tack on the face mask penalty, and that'll put the ball at the 45-yard line.
That's a nice misdirection play for Marian, as they initially had the offensive set going to their left and pitched it back to Lane coming to his right.
So 1st and 10 as Marian is into St. Joe territory. They're at the 45-yard line. Thimble with trips to the left. He'll send Lane in motion. And the handoff is going to be to Gruber. And Gruber not getting a whole lot of real estate after that run.
Yeah, and there's no running away from Mason Kazmierzak. He filled the hole and made the stop for a loss of a half a yard. Nice job by Kazmierzak from his linebacker position.
Gruber now minus 2 yards on the ground as the Knights trying to get something going with the running game. As Mitch Fimble has trips to the right, he's got Gruber to his left hip. Senior in the shotgun formation. He'll send Terrence Lane in motion. Fimble going to call his own number, and he's going to get brought down.
He got rocked by Jack Keegan. Jack came up from his cornerback position and launched himself into Fimble. What a nice hit. Again, third and long for Marian. And if you're Marian, you can't live third and long. Third and short, possibility. And third and long against this St. Joe defense is really tough.
2-yard pickup for the senior quarterback, Fimble, as he'll send both the Lanes and Jackson Simonowski out to the left. Vinny Gruber behind him as the seniors in the shotgun formation. 5 on the play clock. As Fimble going to take a 3-step drop. He's going to heave it as far as he can. And lots of contact. And it looks like pass interference.
Yeah, I don't know who it could be on Marian, as the ball was underthrown, and the St. Joe defender looked like he had a legitimate shot at the ball.
And they're going to call pass interference on the defense.
Much to the chagrin of the St. Joe coaching staff.
So pass interference will move the ball all the way up
to the 29-yard
line. 15 yards.
First down at St. Joe's 29.
That's the 5th penalty of the game for the Huskies. There's now Fimble. We're going to open up the playbook a little bit. He's got 2 to the right, 1 to the left. And Vinny Gruber in the backfield with him. Lane in motion. Handoff's going to be to Gruber. And nowhere to run for Gruber.
Vinny Gruber, the ball carrier.
Number 21 for the Huskies, Charlie Moran. The first time we called his name, 6'1" junior, came up to fill the gap. Second and 11.
Gruber, loss of 1 on the play.
I would not wish this on anybody, but if Fimble fumbles, that would be kind of a fumble by Fimble. Timeout by Marian.
Timeout on the field.
On that one, a timeout by Marian.
We'll take the timeout with them. 4:38 remaining in the half. Huskies in control, up 15, but Marian is driving as you're watching Marian or St. Joe Huskies football here on the Regional Radio Sports Network.
If the world we live in spoke to you, it would have a torrent of things to say. It would say meaning is subjective. Belonging, just opt in. Be sure to comment and like. It would say followers, provide purpose. We say there is another path, where you battle to belong, where there's a cause to fight for, where you earn a place among the few, the proud, the Marines. Learn more at marines.com.
At the vet.
Back here on the Regional Radio Sports Network, JP Joubert, Ron Aklinski, Megan Keeble. So glad you could join us on your Friday night. A beautiful Friday night from downtown South Bend. As the Knights have a 2nd and 11 at the St. Joe 30. Fimble in the shotguns, got trips to the right. He'll fake the handoff, call his own number, and he'll get close to the 25. He's about the 26. We'll give him about 4 yards on the pickup. Connor Gallagher with the tackle.
Nice job by Gallagher to fill the hole. a big play right now. 3rd and 7 at the 26-yard line. A big play for Marian if they want to stay in this game.
And remember, Marian won the toss they received, so St. Joe will get the ball to start the second half. So Fimble trips to the left. He's got Gruber in the backfield. Play clock at 10. He'll send Terrence Lane in semi-motion. Now Fimble, flushed out of the pocket. He is going to get brought down by a swarm of black shirts.
Brought down by Mason Kazmierzak.
As Mason Kazmierzak was the first to greet Mr. Fimble.
Yeah, he didn't have a chance. He took 2 steps back, and the rush by St. Joe, they just did a great job. Kazmierzak has had a heck of a first half defensively for the Huskies.
4th and 9.
I'm going to say a loss of 2. Marian already 0 of 4 on 3rd down in tonight's ball game. So 4th and 9, as Coach Mike Davidson doesn't like what he sees, and he's going to call a timeout. We'll take it with him. Huskies up 15-0 on the Knights as you're watching Husky football on the Regional Radio Sports Network.
Veterans Health Administration. We provide life-changing care to over 9 million veterans across more than 1,200 facilities nationwide.
Our hands are busy, competent, skilled, healing, helping, and friendly. A place where diverse teams come together hand in hand to provide full patient-centered care, and where even robots lend a hand.
Join hands with us. Learn more at vacareers.va.gov.
Back here at Father Bly Field at Layton Stadium, Huskies leading Marian 15-0 in the 65th meeting between the two parochial schools here in the Mishawaka area. Down the street, Tanner Camp, Matt Lilliard, Matt Copsey are at School Field. They've got the Penn Kingsmen. They'll be at Otulski Field next weekend for the Kingsmen and Knights, the Battle of Osceola/Mishawaka. 4th and 9 as Fimble's going to heave it down the field, and it is juggled and dropped. And St. Joe will take over on downs at their own 28-yard line.
Nice coverage by the Huskies. Jack Keegan and James Crinitti, the deep safety, did a nice job of rolling over and breaking that pass up. That was really crucial for Marian to stay in this game with 2:59 left before halftime.
So St. Joe will have the ball at the 28-yard line as the defense holds. And Chicatano's going to hand it to Biffle. He is going to run into his own man, but not before he picks up a St. Joe first down.
What a hole opened up by that St. Joe line. You could have driven a truck through that. Biffle got through there quickly, and if not for a Husky down trying to block, may have taken that to the house.
So plenty of time for the Huskies. 2.5 to go until halftime. Sam Chicatano's gone all the way for the Huskies. He'll roll out to the right. Pass complete to Biffle. He's to the 45. He's going to get close to the 50 and close to another St. Joe first down.
This little halfback out into the flat. Chicatano got it to Biffle. Biffle was able to get his shoulder square and get to that north-south running style that he really, really likes.
Chicatano's hit 4 different receivers here in this first half. Pickup of 9, 2nd and 1. 2 minutes even remaining in the first half. Chicatano going to hand it off to Champlin. He'll have the first down, and he's fighting for extra yardage. And a great run by Champlin. And he'll get close to the 40. It's a first down for the Huskies.
Champlin, a 5'9", 160-pound sophomore, got hit, kept his legs churning, by the time his offensive line got downfield, had a little bit of a tush push and got 4 or 5 extra yards.
Ball will be placed at the 41-yard line. Another first down carry. As that one goes for 10. And as Champlin again, this time is going to get close to the 30. He's got another Huskies first down. And I'll tell you what, Coach, if it's not Biffle doing the damage, it's Champlin. And he has been outstanding in not just this game, but the entire season so far.
So I'll tell you what, it could be you or it could be me because the offensive line, Nick Ortiz, Will Trenter, Zach Hardy, Fletcher Schmidt, and Jayden Snavely are just doing a phenomenal job of controlling the line of scrimmage for the Huskies.
As now the handoff goes to Ross. He'll try to get to the original line of scrimmage. He might have picked up a couple. And a timeout going to be taken by St. Joe.
Timeout, St. Joe.
For the most part, Marian has done a nice job of taking those jet sweeps away and getting containment. They've just been gashed in the middle of the line hard by the Huskies, whether it's Champlin or whether it's Biffle. Just picking up massive chunks of yardage. Now with 45 seconds left and St. Joe on the Marian 29-yard line, we'll see how St. Joe decides to play this, whether they go through the air trying to get a quick strike, and we'll see how many timeouts they have to try and get points on the board here at the end of the second quarter.
We talked about how Marian's next game, it was going to be at home against the Penn Kingsmen. That game will be right here on Regional Radio Sports Network. St. Joe going to be on the road for the first of 2 games. They'll head not too far. It's only like a 3-minute drive to School Field. Well, they'll take on the Adams Eagles. And then they head over cross county lines. They'll take on the Elkhart Lions over at Rice Field on September 26th. As the handoff is faked to Champlin. Ball thrown behind Antoine Ross, and it will fall incomplete on second down.
Little play action for the Huskies. Chicatano faked the handoff, tried to get Ross on a quick slant, and the ball was just a little bit behind him. Now, I don't know if Anthony Gooby is injured, is sick, but he has not taken a snap the whole game. And religiously, both Chicatano and Gooby have split these reps at quarterback for the Huskies.
Shotgun formation. Chicatano will roll to the right. He's got a man open downfield. It's Cornetti. Instead, Chicatano's just going to run, and he'll be forced out of bounds at about the 25-yard line.
Knocked out around the 27.
Big play now. Fourth down and maybe 6 for the Huskies, or are they in Ryder Place's range for a field goal?
Well, Ryder Place 1 of 3 on the year. He had a 20-yarder against Fort Wayne Southside a couple weeks ago, but he's missed from 41 and 32 here at home. And it'll be a timeout for St. Joe.
So I will tell you this much. The Fog Bowl that we're playing in tonight, or as Megan has corrected me, the Baby Powder Bowl is taking a toll on my contact lenses here.
Both the Huskies student section and Marian Knight student section filled with baby powder. Now the St. Joe section is decked out in all black. Marian Knight students on the far side decked out in all white.
Well, and the problem with the baby powder is the wind is blowing in our direction. So any baby powder that gets airborne comes directly into our booth.
So the Huskies are going to trot out Ryder Place, and he'll set up.
This is a great attempt by Ben Downey in Ryder Place, because if he can make this, it tells Ben Downey what his distance is on a field goal. 43 yards is a long kick.
Chicatano on to hold, place down, kick is up, and it is no good.
Plenty of leg, little bit left, but plenty of leg for the St. Joe kicker. Might have been good from 48 to 50 had it been straight. So if I'm Ben Downey on that, that tells me that my kicker is, and he knows this from practice anyway, that my kicker's got a heck of a leg.
So Marian will take over at their own 26. And I would be surprised if Mike Davidson runs a play forward.
Correction, Marian will take over.
So you're thinking he may take a knee?
I'm thinking he may take a knee, but Mike has fooled me before. As Marr in at quarterback, and he's in the shotgun formation.
He's the better thrower of the two, so we'll see.
He's got two receivers to the right, one to the left. Marr is going to fire it, and it is nearly picked off.
And if you're Mike Davidson, that's what you're saying. Let's take a knee, boys.
Madden Martin.
Madden Martin.
Madden Martin, another sophomore. 5'9", 165 sophomore.
Incomplete pass.
And if Madden Martin catches that ball, he's at the house.
So Marr once again in the shotgun. He's got two to the left. And he'll take a couple step drop. He'll fire it. It goes in and out of the hands. And it is picked off. It went in and out of the hands of Simonowski on the far side.
And Jack Keegan makes a great interception. And in the immortal words of Mr. J.B. Jopert, take a knee. Take a knee, coach. And the baby powder is now flooding the left side of the stadium.
So now 19 seconds for the Huskies to work with. They'll have the ball at the 24-yard line. So it'll be interesting to see what Downey and company have dialed up for this one. 13 seconds on the play clock. Loads of time. As we will see Anthony Gooby for the first time. 5 on the play clock. 3, 2. Gooby gets the snap off. He'll roll to the right. He's running for his life on the far side, and he will duck out of bounds. 13 seconds.
This ball's got to go to the end zone now. Put it up. You got great receivers. Dallas Downey is a great receiver. Crinity can catch the ball. Connor Gallagher is on the field now as a wideout. Connor Gallagher 6'2", so put the ball up.
So 4-yard rush by Gooby. 2nd and 7 is personnel movement aplenty for the Huskies. As Gooby in shotgun, he'll take a couple step drop. He'll elude one man. He's going to fire it to the end zone. And up in the air and coming down with it was Terrence Lane.
But Dallas Downey fought hard for that ball.
That's when you play defense on offense. And Terrence Lane may only be 5'5", 137, but he plays larger than that on the depth chart. He's got 2 interceptions on the year. And Coach Ben Downey has said, I've seen enough. We're going to go for 3.
38-yard field goal by Ryder Place, who just missed about maybe 30 seconds ago from 43.
So Place 1 of 4 on the year. Shikatano to hold. Place. Kick is up and no good.
38-yard field goal attempt is no good.
And that will end the first half.
Marian, 0.
2 touchdowns by the Huskies, sandwiched by a safety in the middle. And the Huskies head to the locker room. They're up by 15 as we hit the break. We'll step aside as you're watching Huskies football here on the Regional Radio Sports Network.
Hi, this is Paul Country of the Regional Radio Sports Network. That may be my professional title, but did you know that I'm also the son of a U.S. Navy World War II veteran and the proud father of a United States Marine? Let me share with you something very close to my heart. It's called the Semper Fi Fund and its program America's Fund, which provides immediate lifetime support for post-9/11 wounded, critically ill, and injured members of the U.S. Armed Forces, veterans, and their families to ease recovery and transition back home to their communities. The Semper Fi Fund, serving those who preserve our freedom. The basic idea that drives these efforts is simple. For as much as our heroes have sacrificed, they deserve the best care and support available in their hour of need, whenever it may occur. The Semper Fi Fund, a 4-star charity and an A+ rating, has served over 16,000 members since 2004. The Semper Fi Fund, serving those who preserve our freedom. For more information, visit them online at www.semperfifund.org.
Childhood cancer it's a long road. It's hard, but St. Jude has gotten us through it. St. Jude is hope that you have a chance at life. And it goes such a long way for every child diagnosed with cancer because everything that's learned is shared all over the world. It's awesome.
Finding cures, saving children. Learn more at stjude.org.
If the world we live in spoke to you, it would have a torrent of things to say. It would say meaning is subjective. Belonging? Just opt in. Be sure to comment and like. It would say followers provide purpose. We say there is another path where you battle to belong, where there's a cause to fight for, where you earn a place among the few, the proud, the Marines. Learn more at Marines.com.
At the Veterans Health Administration, we provide life-changing care to over 9 million veterans across more than 1,200 facilities nationwide.
Our hands are busy, competent, skilled, healing, helping, and friendly. A place where diverse teams come together hand in hand to provide full patient-centered care, and where even robots lend a hand.
Join hands with us. Learn more at vacareers.va.gov.
The fighting spirit of the Marine Corps is born of battles won. Battles won within, over enemies of fear, enemies of doubt. It's who we are. It's what we do. It's a promise made to you for more than 2 centuries. A promise of the Marines. Every day, the men and women of the United States Marine Corps demonstrate their commitment to defend the American way of life. Since 1775, wherever the mission takes us, we always remember the land we call home. As Marines, we take a stand for our nation, for us all. The few, the proud, the Marines. There is no easy way in. There are no compromises, shortcuts, or excuses. There is no backing down, slowing down, or giving up. There is no greater challenge and no greater purpose. There is no easy way in. If there were, it wouldn't be the Marine Corps. If you think you have what it takes to earn the title, visit Marines.com or call 1-800-MARINES. The few, the proud, the Marines.
Wounded Warrior Project has been there for me since that first day in the hospital. They got me out of the house, they got me connected with other veterans, and they helped me face my PTSD. They support me and my family at every turn. And now I'm helping other warriors realize that they're not alone.
Through our hands-on programs, supportive community, and ongoing advocacy, we help post-9/11 veterans realize what's possible. Learn more at woundedwarriorproject.org/possible.
My neighbor invited me to a Wounded Warrior Project event. I didn't know what to expect, but it felt like everyone understood me. We got each other. So I got more involved. I joined support groups with other women warriors, and it helped me realize a new purpose in my life.
Through our hands-on programs, supportive community, and ongoing advocacy, we help post-9/11 veterans realize what's possible. Learn more at woundedwarriorproject.org/possible.
At the YMCA, finding your why starts by making an impact together, touching lives for the better. It can be the gift of time or treasure, supporting a community through talent without measure. Here, compassion fuels commitment, finding fulfillment through enrichment, serving and improving. What a way to live, and what a gift it is to give. Find your why and get involved today at ymca.org for a better us.
There are those who dedicate themselves to a sense of honor, to a life of courage, and a commitment to something greater than themselves. They have always defended this nation and each other. They still do. The few, the proud, the Marines. Every day, the men and women of the United States Marine Corps demonstrate their commitment to defend the American way of life. Since 1775, wherever the mission takes us, we always remember the land we call home. As Marines, we take a stand for our nation, for us all. The few, the proud, the Marines.
Did you know there's a place right here in Mishawaka that provides comfort and care for families of sick or injured children? Ronald McDonald House Charities of Mishawaka gives families everything they need, whether it's a hot shower, a comfortable bed, or a home-cooked meal. This allows parents to truly prioritize the health and well-being of their child. Because of people in this community just like you, RMHC Mishawaka provides their services at zero cost to the families. Find out how you can volunteer or donate to rmhcmishawaka.org.
It's the Summer Liquidation Spectacular at Gates, your Chevrolet EV headquarters. This is your last chance for $7,500 additional savings on Equinox, Blazer, and Silverado. The more you drive, the more you save at Gates, South Bend, and Mishawaka. It's the Summer Liquidation Spectacular on now at Gates Toyota. Get 1.9% for 72 months on new Tundras. Or drive a new RAV4 for just $299 per month. Gates Toyota. We liquidate, you save. It's the Summer Liquidation Spectacular now at all Gates locations. The factory orders immediate liquidation of 300 overaged but underpriced units. Save 10 grand on near new vehicles, many under 200 per month. Good credit, bad credit, no credit at all. No one is turned away. Almost every car, truck, and SUV comes with the exclusive Customers for Life warranty at no cost to you. We liquidate, you save. Summer Liquidation Spectacular only at Gates.
Back here at Father Bly Field at Layton Stadium as we're at halftime with the members of the senior class singing the St. Joe fight song. You didn't have to do this when you were a senior, did you, Coach?
I couldn't sing. I couldn't sing then, but then after performances in the shower, I became a great singer.
I'm sure Monica would say you're a fantastic singer.
Great. Matter of fact, I sound a lot like Bruce Springsteen, but a lot of people don't even know who he is today.
So looking at the individual stats, first for the St. Joseph Huskies, Franco Biffle, 8 carries, 67 yards, 2 lead all ball carriers. Ruskowski with 1 carry for 31 yards, Ryan Ruskowski, that is. Matt Champlin, 5 carries, 27 yards. Antoine Ross, 2 carries for 10 yards. And Anthony Gooby, a carry for 4 yards. Biffle had touchdown runs of 6 and 19 yards. Sam Shikatano, 6 of 8 for 50 yards, long of 15 tonight. Dallas Downey, 2 catches for 20 yards. Connor Gallagher, a catch for 15. Franco Biffle, 2 catches for 10, and Matt Champlin, a catch for 5. 139 yards on the ground for the Huskies, 50 through the air, and 189 total yards for the team clad in black and Columbia blue. For the Marian Knights, Mitch Fimbles carried the ball 6 times for -8 yards. Vinny Gruber, 5 carries, -6 yards. Terrence Lane, 2 carries for 12 yards. Lucas Marr, a carry for -8 yards. And Oliver Sager, 1 carry for -14 yards. Fimble, 2 of 3 through the air for 18 yards. Both of those caught by Terrence Lane. And Lucas Marr, 0 of 5 for no yards and an interception. The Marian Knights have a combined on 18 plays from scrimmage, minus 6 yards. Coach, when you get that kind of production from your defense, you are going to win, I'm willing to say, 99.9% of your games.
Yeah, no, just a tremendous effort in this first half by the Husky defense. And even when you talk about the fact that the most explosive defensive player, Kobe Ado, is out and not playing, it speaks to the depth of the Husky defense. And I mean, they're relentless. Whether it's a outside linebacker coming off the edge, whether it's the interior defensive lineman, or whether it's the linebackers shooting those gaps, they're just doing a great job of controlling the line of scrimmage, containing the edges, and then not let anything get downfield via the pass.
St. Joe has 2 touchdown drives. The first one ended the first quarter, had the start of the second quarter. An 11-play, 72-yard drive took a little over 6 minutes, ended up with a 6-yard touchdown run by Biffle. On the very next possession by the Knights, Oliver Sager was back to punt in his own goal line. The snap was misplayed. He was tackled in the end zone by Ryan Ruskowski. That's the second safety in as many weeks for the Huskies. That made the score 9-0. And then on the ensuing free kick, Ruskowski took it back 24 yards. 2 plays later, St. Joe's in the end zone once again. It's a 15-0 game. The extra point by Place was no good because it was blocked, but St. Joe has just had their way. Offense, defense, special teams. We made mention of it in the pregame. They can hurt you in so many ways. This is a team that had a chip on its shoulder at the end of last year, and they're proving it again here in the middle of the season.
Well, they took it on the chin last year in the Holy War, 27-0 at Marian. And Ryan Ruskowski in his first half has played a huge role so far. A big 31-yard reverse run to get St. Joe down in scoring territory. Putting the pressure on the botched snap and getting the tackle for the safety. He's played really well in this game tonight. And I mean, really, the whole defense has been outstanding. But if you're gonna single out a couple of guys, probably Ryan Rutz, and then I think Mason Kazmierzak has done a great job shooting gaps from his linebacker position. Conversely speaking, offensively for St. Joe, I mean, what can you say? It's been Franco Biffle. It's been Franco Biffle right, Franco Biffle left, and Franco Biffle up the middle. Very similar to the days when the Bears had 10 players on the field, but only one could play, and his name was Walter Payton. Walter right, Walter left, Walter up the middle. Franco Biffle is kind of doing that same thing tonight from an offensive standpoint for the Huskies.
You were the one that was blocking for Walter Payton, if I am correct. Only in the wide receiver position, though.
I was not blocking for Walter Payton, but I will share this story. Walter Payton and I both had the same liver disease. There were the rate of incidence for primary sclerosing cholangitis is maybe 2 for every 100,000 people, and both Walter Payton and I had the same disease. I was fortunate and able to get a transplant. Walter wasn't. He would have been a great spokesman for organ donation. So rest easy, Walter Payton. You were definitely the greatest running back ever.
Got some scores to pass along from around the state. Glenn leads Jimtown 7-3. Hobart on top of Kankakee Valley 7-0. Vince Gray and his crew doing that game. Culver Academy looking for their first win of the season. They lead Fairfield 14-6. Warsaw all over Wawasee in a battle of Northern Lakes Conference teams 34-7. Number 1 in the state in 6A, Brownsburg, defending state champion, having their way with Avon. They lead it 27-9 in that contest. Bremen They are ahead of LaVille 7-6 in their contest. How about this one from down in Indianapolis? Number 2 in 6A. Center Grove getting all they can handle in the second quarter. It's 35-28. If you're an announcer, that's your kind of game.
Well, not really, because I love defense, man. And I'm saying at halftime, hey guys, you know how to spell the word defense? Come on.
Garrett leads a former St. Joe opponent, Lakeland, 14-0. That game is in the half. Northwood at the Panther Pit. They lead Mishawaka at halftime, 19-10. What a job Nate Andrews has done with that Northwood program. Year in, year out, they are one of the best teams in North Central Indiana.
Yeah, he does a great job. Mishawaka, in talking with Keith Kinder, they were poised to really have a great year this year. They took one on the chin to Penn. They beat Concord last week. Concord's a really good football team. Now they got to get going in the second half to take care of Northwood.
NIC matchup over in the Heart City. Elkhart leads South Bend Riley 25-zip. That ball game is at the half. You made mention of Concord. They're taking it to Northridge in Dunlap. 21-0 in favor of the Minutemen. Down in Fort Wayne, Leo leads New Haven 21-7 in their game. A slugfest in the Summit City. Number 18 in 6A, Carroll and Bishop Dwenger. Bishop Dwenger has silently become one of the top teams in the upper classes. It is 6-3 in favor of the Carroll Chargers at the half.
You got a Goshen score by any chance?
We're looking for them. South Bend Adams leads New Prairie 7-6. That game is in the second quarter. Game down in Evansville, Wrights leads North 12-0. Trinity Christian leads number 3 Carmel 34-14. That game down in Kentucky. And Michigan City and Valparaiso, that game in the first quarter, that's the Condrey Bowl, as it's Patriot night over in Valparaiso. They are scoreless in the first quarter. We're going to step aside and we come back. We'll have the keys to the second half, and we'll bring you the second half kickoff as you're watching the 65th version of the Holy War right here on the Regional Radio Sports Network.
Hi, this is Paul Condrey of the Regional Radio Sports Network. That may be my professional title, but did you know that I'm also the son of a U.S. Navy World War II veteran and a proud father of a United States Marine? Let me share with you something very close to my heart. It's called the Semper Fi Fund and its program America's Fund, which provides immediate lifetime support for post-9/11 wounded, critically ill, and injured members of the U.S. Armed Forces, veterans, and their families to ease recovery and transition back home to their communities. The Semper Fi Fund, serving those who preserve our freedom. The basic idea that drives these efforts is simple. For as much as our heroes have sacrificed, they deserve the best care and support available in their hour of need, whenever it may occur. The Semper Fi Fund, a 4-star charity and an A+ rating, has served over 16,000 members since 2004. The Semper Fi Fund, serving those who preserve our freedom. For more information, visit them online at www.semperfifund.org.
Back here on the Regional Radio Sports Network at Father Bly Field at Layton Stadium on the campus of South Bend St. Joe High School in downtown South Bend. JP Gilbert, Ron Aklinski, and the goalkeeper extraordinaire, Megan Keeble, pitched a 2-0 shutout in her last game. Promised we would get her name on the air.
Got to. Anytime you pitch a shutout, that's really good. Keys to the second half. If you're St. Joe, just keep doing what you're doing. Gash Marian on the interior of the defensive line. Figure out when Marian's going to stack the box, which means putting 8 or 9 guys in the box. When that happens and there's no safety coverage, maybe look to go over the top and quick strike. As bad as Marian's been outplayed in this first half, there are only 2 scores and 2 extra points down in this game. So, Marian, you got to try and control the line of scrimmage a little bit. Try and run behind the big fella, maybe Prescott Horvath at 6'9" and 230. Try and run behind him. But St. Joe's just doing a great job defensively. Quickness and just playing very well defensively.
And remember, they had that extra point blocked after that last touchdown.
Yes, they did.
So Marian will go from left to right on your computer screen or mobile device. They're in the all-white ensemble with the blue helmets. St. Joe, the all-black ensemble from head to toe. Black pants, black jerseys, black helmets. Out with the blue and white outlines, numbers in blue on the front and the back. And getting set to kick it off to start the second half will be Oliver Sager. As Crinity is downfield, and it'll be taken by one of the upmen for St. Joe.
Colin Penn fielded that kick at 5'10", 160-pound senior. It's the little pooch kickoff type, and there's no return. The Huskies will have the ball at their own 32. We'll see Anthony Gooby at the controls to start this second half.
So Gooby, he'll be under center here to start. He's got Biffle in the backfield. And the first play is a handoff right to the senior running back. He's over the 35-yard line, close to the 37. And it'll be a pickup of about 5.
Nice job by Parker Mrozinski, the 5'8" junior, to step into that gap and bring Biffle down.
Well, they're going to actually spot him back a yard. So 4-yard pickup for Biffle. Biffle now with 71 yards on the ground tonight. As now Gooby into the shotgun formation. Biffle to his right hip. He'll send Antoine Ross in motion. And the give is to Ross. He's to the 35 and getting to about the 39. That'll be a pickup of about 3. And it'll bring up 3rd and 3.
Defensively, Marion's done a great job on the sweeps that St. Joe has run. St. Joe has gashed Marian up the gut. We'll see what the Huskies pull out of their pocket here at 3rd down and 3.
146 yards on the ground for the Huskies so far tonight. It's Gooby in the shotgun. He's got Biffle with him. Snap is high. He'll make the catch. And now Gooby rolling out. There's going to be a flag on the play. It's going to be a hold, and Gooby launches it towards the St. Joe fans.
I was talking to one of the St. Joe coaches before the games, and they were lamenting the fact that St. Joe has had a problem with the snaps from the center to the quarterback in the shotgun formation. And again, in that particular play, Gooby had to reach up with one hand and bat the ball down, which then throws all of the timing off on any kind of a pass play.
So it'll be a 10-yard hold, and back the ball goes.
I don't know why Marian did not decline.
That's what I was thinking, the exact same thing.
And force St. Joe to punt, unless they felt that St. Joe would not have punted and would have gone for it.
So instead, it's going to be a 3rd and 13 from the 29-yard line. There's lots of movement for the snap. Gooby going to hand it off and getting minimal, and I do mean minimal.
I mean, it could have been a great play by Antoine Ross. Franco Biffle missed his block on the edge. If Franco would have got that block down, then Antoine might have been able to use his speed to get outside. As it was, the Marian Knights have held 4th and 15, and Ryder Place is back to kick for St. Joe.
So Place on for the second time. His first punt went 43 yards. Terrence Lane back at about his 31-yard line. Place gets the snap, and he'll send it into the South Bend sky. And that takes a St. Joe bounce, and it will be down at about the 29-yard line, and that's where Marian will take over.
So
44-yard punt.
That is amazing how you just whipped that 44 number out. It's amazing to me.
It's amazing, huh?
Yeah, it is amazing.
Math skills at St. Joe do work.
I was a PE major and a health major, so adding that quickly to me, yeah, no, it's amazing. Great job.
Thank you. 9.5 to go in the third quarter. Marian will take over. It'll be 1st and 10 at their own 29-yard line.
We'll see what adjustments Marian will have made here offensively. St. Joe's been really stout to start this game in the first half.
Lucas Marr in at quarterback for the Marian Knights as they try to get anything going. As the handoff's going to be to Gruber. He's to the 30, and he's going to get rocked backwards.
Vinny Gruber, the ball carrier.
Little extracurricular there on the interior of the offensive line by Marian, which I don't mind. At this point in time, you got to fire somebody up.
So Gruber with a 4-yard pickup. 6 carries, -2 yards. Marian as a team has -2 yards of total offense. There's Marr in the shotgun with Gruber in the backfield. 8:50 remaining in the third quarter. Terrence Lane in motion. And he'll get the ball into his chest, and he'll turn the corner to the 35. He'll scamper towards the 40. And he'll get knocked out of bounds at about the 39, still short of the first down.
That's a better surge by the Knights there, getting the pulling action by the offensive line, and Lane using his quickness to get outside.
Be an official's timeout after that 5-yard pickup by Terrence Lane. Of course, the football team not the only team in action this past week. Both the boys and girls cross-country teams under the direction of former classmate of mine, class of 98 grad Mike McCarthy. They finished in first in the South Bend City meet, both the boys and the girls. The girls also took first place in the NIC Stomp as well. Flag football team is 1-2 on the year, having lost to Penn 26-12 and New Prairie by a point. The New Prairie girls flag football team has done a terrific job this year, but they overwhelmed LaVille 73-8 for their first win of the season. Girls golf team is 5-0 on the year. They took first place in Northwood and 8th in the state preview tournament. They also won the NIC championship in boys tennis under Matt Halfpenny. How about 7-0 for the Huskies?
Wow.
Fantastic job by all the Husky sports teams.
Fantastic job by the athletic director, Stephen Anthony, getting you that information.
Stephen Anthony has been phenomenal this year as the handoff to Gruber, and it looked like his forward progress stopped at the 40. In that case, it would be a Knights first down, and that's exactly what it is.
And James Cornetti said, if you're coming my side, man, I'm throwing you back. He did a nice job of filling that gap. Marian only had a yard to go. But that's a good sign if you're Mike Davidson. Your ball club gets a first down to start this second half with 8:09 left in the third quarter.
So pickup of 2 on the play, and it's a first down for the Knights as Gruber now into the positive in yardage on the ground. And Simonowski was running, and now Marr running for his life, and he's going to get sacked.
He's sacked by Charlie Moran, the 6'1 junior. Marian had a misconnection on that play. Somebody forgot to take the ball from quarterback Lucas Marr, and he was left hanging on an island, and Charlie Moran made him pay for it.
Loss of 6 on the play as the St. Joe defense has come as advertised, and they are making life all kinds of miserable, no matter who's in at quarterback for the Knights. As Marr will stand at his own 30, it's 2nd and 16 from the 34. Marr sends Terrence Lane in motion. He'll get the handoff and he's going to run right into his offensive line. And Lane will barely get back to the line of scrimmage.
Freshman nose tackle, Brendan Lassane, number 79. Talk about a body for a freshman. About 6'3", 260 pounds. Held the point of attack and did a nice job.
So 1 yard pickup for Terrence Lane, and now it's 3rd and 15 from the 35. As Lucas Marr in the shotgun. He'll take a couple step drop. He'll fire it to Lane, and Terrence Lane over the 45 to about the 47. It'll be a 12-yard pickup.
Nice pitch and catch by Lucas Marr to Terrence Lane, who did a nice job running that quick slant, caught the ball over the middle, which sets up a manageable 4th and 3 now for the Knights.
This will be the 7th play of the drive, and Mike Davidson says, let's throw caution to the wind and let's leave the offense on the field. Marr with trips to the left, Gruber in the backfield. Since Terrence Lane in motion, handoff is to Gruber. He'll have the first down and a whole lot more as he's to the 30. He's down to about the 25, and he is to about the 23.
Vinny Gruber with the big gainer, Marian.
Arguably the best offensive play by the Knights to date, and really a great offensive series coming out of halftime here. The great run puts the ball down at about maybe the 21-yard line or the 23-yard line of the Huskies. Marian has a chance to go in here and score now.
That's a 30-yard pickup for Gruber. And the Knights have a fresh set to work with. Marr sending Terrence Lane. He'll be right at the left hip. And instead, Marr's going to keep it. Thought about pitching it. Instead, he'll keep it himself. Maybe a yard on the keeper.
Probably should have pitched it. The defensive end came to him. And really no gain. 2nd and 10. Let's see if the Huskies can get stout here at the point of attack and keep Marian out of the end zone.
So Marr sends 3 to the left. The ball on the left hash mark at the 23-yard line. Huskies showing blitz. And instead Gruber with it. He'll shed 1 tackle, and he's past the first down marker to about the 10. And Gruber will pick up about 14 on the play and another Marian first down.
A same dive, starting from the right and going back to the left, that Gruber just ran for 30 yards. He got a nice gain of about 12 yards there. Ball on the 10-yard line or the 9-yard line of the Huskies. Just a great drive by Marian.
1st and goal for Marian. Marr has been absolutely methodical in calling out the run plays here on this drive. Marr with Lane to his left. Gruber in the backfield. Handoff will be faked to Gruber. Marr's going to keep it, and he is going to be roughed up. It'll be a loss of yards as Gruey came up from his defensive end position and sent Marr back to the turf.
Charlie wasn't fooled by the fake dive and Marr trying to leak out to the right. Charlie kept containment and put Gruel to the turf for about a 2-yard loss.
So 2nd goal from the 11 as the Knights are now in the middle of the field. Marr's got 2 receivers to the right. He'll send Terrence Lane in motion. Handoff was going to be to Gruber. There's laundry on the field. Marian has only committed 1 penalty to this point.
Well, now they've committed their 2nd, I believe, as they had a little offsides, the Huskies.
So a 5-yard penalty.
I gotta stop prognosticating here.
That is the 7th St. Joe penalty, and I think
to 1 for Marian.
To 1 for Marian, and I think if you're Ben Downey, you do not like that ratio in the penalty department.
2nd goal at the 6.
So 5-yard walk-off. It'll be 2nd and goal from the 6. As Marr in the shotgun again, Gruber directly behind him. He'll send Terrence Lane in motion. Handoff is to Gruber. Gruber gets nothing.
Mason Kazmierzak again shoots the back from, or shoots the gap from that inside linebacker position, and stops Gruber for nothing, and maybe even a loss of a yard or two. Brings down a big 3rd and 9.
Loss of 3 on the play for Gruber, and the Knights 2 steps forward, 1 step back, as they are now 3rd and goal from the 9. With 2 minutes even remaining in the 3rd quarter. As Simonowski was in motion, and a flag on the play. It's going to be delay a game on the Knights.
Yeah, that's a tough penalty because you're staring at the play clock right in front of you. And if you do see it, getting to 2, maybe getting to 1, you got to call that TO because this is a really important part of the game and an important part of the field with the opportunity for the Knights to take this in and cut this lead in half.
Well, now there's the second penalty for 10 yards now for Marian. St. Joe 7 penalties, 65 yards in the ball game. Now Marian. 3rd and goal from the 14. As the ball is snapped, and once again, movement aplenty, but Mike Davidson smartly calls timeout. We're going to take it with him. Timeout Marian. 1:45 remaining here in the 3rd quarter. St. Joe up 15-0, but Marian driving, trying to get on the scoreboard as you're watching Huskies football here on the Regional Radio Sports Network. Here at Father Bly Field, Marian with 3rd and 14. Trips to the left as the dump off is incomplete. And the Huskies defense will hold on the 3rd and 14. For now. Now it'll be interesting to see what Mike Davidson's got up his sleeve. 4th and goal from the 14.
I thought the play he dialed up had a chance to work. They had St. Joe outflanked if they could have came down with the reception, but they dropped the pass, and now we're at 4th down.
And Gruber had a lot of real estate in front of him. 4th and goal. Marian says, let's go for it. As
looks like Alfred Schultz offsides for the Huskies.
That's exactly what happens. Second offsides penalty of this drive. And now 8 penalties for 70 yards.
Yeah, that's tough. That's just being disciplined there and not even listening to the snap count. When you're an interior defensive lineman, watch the ball.
So 4th and goal from the 9. Marr in the shotgun. A misdirection play and not getting anywhere close to the goal line is going to be Terrence Lane, and the Huskies defense holds, and they'll take over.
Mason Kazmierzak has been all over the field. Like you said, a little misdirection from left to right. Mason didn't buy it, stayed in his gap, and made a great hit. A great drive by Marian, but comes away with this drive with no points.
Marian held on to the football for 7 minutes and 55 seconds on that drive.
That's amazing.
That's amazing.
And come away with no points.
Great drive by the Huskies to bend but not break. But now they got 96 yards to go as the first play from scrimmage is going to be a handoff to Champlin. And he'll get them out of the shadow of their own goal line with a 4-yard pickup. Champlin now with 31 yards on the night on the ground.
St. Joe's offensive line has just been really good all night long. And when you have good running backs that run hard, the offensive linemen love that.
Getting down to 60 seconds remaining in the third quarter. St. Joe on top here in the Holy War. 15-0. There's a snap. Is rolling out to his right. It's going to be Shikatana. He's going to call his own number. And he is going to be pushed out at about the 30-yard line. That'll be about a 22-yard pickup for the junior.
Dallas Downey motioned from right to left and actually led the blocking on that quarterback keeper. A nice job, nice play call by St. Joe to get out of their own end zone and end up at the 32-yard line.
That'll be a 24-yard pickup. And more importantly, a first down for the Huskies. So 48 seconds remaining in the third quarter as the handoff here on the near side on the end around is going to be to Dallas Downey.
Dallas said, I led on that play. Now, when I run my motion from right to left, just give me the ball. Let me see what I can do. Dallas does a nice job, picks up 6 yards, 2nd and 4 at the 38-yard line.
Huskies inching closer to that 200 yards on the ground mark. And Ben Downey says,
run it out, boys.
Let's end the quarter here. And let's take the 15-point lead into the fourth quarter, and that's exactly what they're going to do. Huskies with the football, and they're 12 minutes away from taking back the advantage in the Civil War. It's the Huskies 15, the Knights nothing. Holy War 2025 here on the Regional Radio Sports Network. Champlin gets a 22-yard pickup of his own on the first play of scrimmage in the fourth quarter. Champlin got a maze of blockers in front of him in black shirts, and he took off down the sidelines.
Yeah, it's really a nice tandem at running back with Biffle and Champlin, with Biffle just being a bruiser and a straight-ahead guy that can make people miss and run over people, where Champlin is really, really quick, gets to the hole, and gets yardage.
As the handoff going to be once again to Champlin, and he's going to try to dive towards the 30. He'll get 8 on that pickup. It'll be second down and manageable.
Yeah, I don't know if St. Joe will throw the ball the rest of this game. Let the clock run. Let your horses up front put a hat on a hat, and let your running backs find a hole and go. And they're doing a great job of putting a hat on a hat.
This is a drive that started way back at their own 4-yard line. Now all the way up to the Marian 32. Chickatano gives the handoff to Champlin, and he'll have the first down. He'll have a pickup of about 4.
Nice job by Crenity coming in motion from right to left and throwing a block to spring Champlain out in the open for about a 5 or 6 yard carry. A first down for the Huskies at the 29-yard line of Marian.
65 yards on the ground for Champlin.
And don't snap that ball till that play clock is down to maybe 3 seconds. Let that play clock run. You have the lead, and understand the time and score of this game.
As the handoff's going to be on the end around, and Ross still on his feet to the 20. He's down to about the 10, still on his feet, getting help from his friends. And Antoine, that's going to be a 20-plus yard pickup.
Yeah, just a nice job of getting to the corner and then dancing a little bit, finding the hole, keeping his legs moving. He's really, really quick, and just a nice carry down to the 12-yard line.
17-yard pickup for the junior. 4th first down on the drive for the Huskies. And don't look now.
All right.
The Huskies.
Can I look yet?
The Huskies have gone a grand total of 88 yards on this drive as Champlin going to get wrapped up. He might have made it back to the line of scrimmage.
Braden Cerny on the tackle for Marian.
As Braden Cerny with the tackle. Champlin will make way. He'll head to the sidelines.
And by the way, Mr. Champlin, you're out. Mr. Biffle, come on in.
It's the two-headed monster in the backfield, and
it's a really nice complement of running backs for St. Joe. Now, if we want to run a little play action here, but I say no. I say give the ball to Mr. Biffle.
Second goal from the 9, and Mr. Biffle is going to get the ball. He is going to rumble into the end zone for his 3rd touchdown of the night. And the Huskies ready to put a bow on this one. Lead at 21-0 with 8:57 remaining in the game.
Yeah, that's great line play to the right. When you're looking at Jaden Snavely and Fletcher Smith and the center Zach Hardy, just do a great job. And then if Franco Biffle has any kind of a hole, he gets through with power and integrity, takes the hit, and gets into the end zone.
So Ryder Place on to attempt the extra point. And he had his last extra point blocked, but this one sails towards the west side of South Bend. And it is now 22-0 in favor of the St. Joe Huskies. We'll be back with more Husky football here on the Regional Radio Sports Network.
Childhood cancer it's a long road. It's hard, but St. Jude has gotten us through it. St. Jude is hope that you have a chance at life. And it goes such a long way for every child diagnosed with cancer because everything that's learned is shared all over the world. It's awesome.
Finding cures, saving children. Learn more at stjude.org.
Back here at Father Blythe Field on the campus of St. Joe High School. J.P. Gilbert, Ronna Klinsky, and the goalkeeper extraordinaire, Megan Keeble. Showing that she knows how to play great between the sticks as a goalkeeper, but she shows she's just as good working the camera here at Father Blythe Field. And, Coach, we have witnessed St. Joe playing to their full potential and then some as they lead at 22-0.
It's just been a slugfest in the trenches, and St. Joe has simply won in the trenches.
As the kick taken by one of the upmen from the Knights, and they'll take over at about their own 24-yard line.
Vinny Gruber on the return for the Knights.
Gruber with the return, so 8:51 remaining in this one.
if you're Marian, do you start to put the ball in the air a little bit? They don't throw the ball well. They average about 63 yards a game passing, 197 yards rushing, or you just try and run the ball down the field. They had success with a little misdirection from right to left. Gruber picked up a couple of chunk plays at 31 yards and then about a 15-yard run. Let's see if they come back to that right to left action.
Well, Marr, who led that long drive earlier in the half, he is back under the controls. He's got two receivers to his left. He's going to come out throwing, and the first pass is incomplete. That one was intended for Terrell Lane on that far side.
Yeah, and if he does elect to go back to pass, it better be a quick out because he's not going to get much time. The interior of that St. Joe D, led by Brendan Lassane and Aaron Wills is in now, is really, really strong.
So 2nd and 10 from the 24. Terrence Lane in motion. Gruber with the handoff. He'll go right up the middle. He'll get beyond the 25, maybe to the 27, but that's all. And it'll be a pickup of about 3 for the sophomore. Kazmierzak on the stop.
And he comes off the field. He plays a lot bigger than 5'11", 200 pounds. He's really stout at the point of attack.
So 3-yard pickup, 3rd and 7 for Marian. Marr, couple step drop. He's going to heave it, and it is well overthrown.
And Ryan Ruskowski said, just in case you're thinking of making that catch on the Marian sideline, I'm going to take you out, because he hit the Marian receiver as he was in the air. Completely illegal hit, but there was no way that the receiver could come down with that ball. Ryan Ruskowski, again, when you talk about someone playing bigger than what they are, Ryan checks in at 5'7" and 150-pound junior, plays a lot bigger than that.
And Oliver Sager back to punt for the Marian Knights, and the last time he punted, he was tackled in the end zone. And this one is a high snap. It is brought down. The kick is into the South Bend sky, and it will take a neutral bounce. It'll be down at about the 48-yard line. 22-yard punt for Sager. And St. Joe takes over. It'll be 1st and 10 at the Marian 48-yard line. And with about a little under 8 minutes to go, St. Joe can smell victory here in the Holy War.
You know what I smell? Baby powder still. I'm just being straight up with you, man. They might smell victory. I smell baby powder.
I'm going to have to ask Megan Keeble, are you smelling baby powder too? Oh, she nods her head yes.
But I guess that is victory, because when you do good things, they let the baby powder go, right?
Good thing I can't smell anything.
When you take a look at St. Joe's offensive line, Will Trinter, the left guard, 6'5", 225 pounds. Really, really great size. Number 56 is Nick Ortiz, 6'4", 275, the left tackle. The left side of that line is massive. Both 6'4", 275 and 225. No wonder that they cave defensive lines in. And then you look at the other side, Jaden Snavely, 6'5", 315, and Fletcher Schmidt at 6 foot 220. And then you think about a freshman, Bane Wolf, who's obviously out tonight with an ankle injury. Bane Wolf is about 6'4", 6'5", and goes 295. He's a freshman.
We told you about the next two St. Joe contests. Next home broadcast is going to be in 3 weeks, October 3rd.
No, it's 3 weeks, so I get to come to Father Bly Field.
October 3rd. We're going to bring Megan Keeble along with us as the Huskies and Wildcats renew acquaintances. 7 p.m. kickoff, 6:30 pregame show with Coach Aklinski and myself. As Gooby, he's going to run for his life. He's going to heave it downfield, and the ball will fall incomplete.
Yeah, so I'm not a coach up here in the box. I'm a basketball coach. I stayed at a Holiday Inn Express, so I know a little bit about football. I'm thinking at 7:53, we should just run this out, man. We should run this clock out and put an exclamation point on that 22 points, get another score, game over, go home, Marian, adios.
The last time the Huskies had the ball, they went 96 yards in 9 plays and 4:41 as the second down pass falls incomplete as well.
Yeah, that's a quick out to Charlie Gruey, who's playing a little bit tight end, a little bit at tight end at about 6'5", 200 pounds. Just didn't get his head around fast enough on that out, and when he did, the ball had already sailed by him. So now we're at 3rd and 10, and the clock has stopped.
So we'll get you some scores from around the state of Indiana. As Gooby still at the controls. And the handoff's going to go to Champlin.
He picks up about maybe 4 yards, but it's 4 down territory. Unless Ben Downey elects to punt. And he does.
St. Joe is going to send Ryder Place out there.
Ryder Place on the punt for the Huskies.
And I would not be surprised if Place lets this clock run all the way down.
Well, he should. He should let it run all the way down. And then take that snap at 1 second.
As the kick by Place is a good one. And that's going to take a St. Joe bounce. And that's going to be down at the 2.
The punt is down at the 2.
That's a 42-yard punt.
Will Sullivan.
I think the freshman, Will Solman, the 5'9" running back, number 20, is who got down. He's a little jet is what he is. He's really, really quick. He's a freshman. I think he got down and downed that at the 2-yard line. St. Joe's really, really high on him in running the football.
42-yard punt for Ryder Place, who has been outstanding. He's had 4 punts today. 3 of them have gone 40-plus. And with 6:57 remaining in the ball game, the Knights will take over in the shadow of their own goalposts. And movement aplenty. You did it. No, you did it. No, you did it. As the fingers are pointing everywhere.
Just don't point them at me. I got nothing in this. I'm trying to find that Mishawaka Northwood score. Last score we had, Northwood was leading the Cavemen 19-10.
So a false start penalty. That's a penalty of 1 yard. So it'll be set. It'll be 1st and 11 from the 1. As the snap is going to go, and Gruber.
The safety.
And it's another 2 points. Second safety of the night for the defense. As Gruber goes back 1 yard. And Troster with the sack in the end zone. And it's a safety.
Yeah, that's a tough ask for an offensive line who's been beat up all game long by the Huskies to get that ball out of their own end zone. And Jackson Troster, the inside linebacker, just did a great job. Mason Kazmierzak was in on it with him also. That is the second safety tonight. The third safety by the Huskies, as I can recall.
Yeah, third in the last 2 weeks. Got some scores from around the state. Merrillville all over Portage, 24-3.
Who cares?
Thanks.
I got one that you might care about. Northwood over Mishawaka, 19-16 after 3.
Well, how about this one? Lawrence Central hosting Warren Central. Lawrence Central is up 45-3 on Warren Central.
Wow. Well, how the tides have shifted in Indianapolis.
Yes, they have. Decatur Central, they are the 21st ranked team in 6A. They are up 75-0 on Martinsville.
Who scheduled that game? That's what I want to know.
Plymouth,
75 zip?
Plymouth and Goshen 44-7 in favor of Plymouth. Chesterton leading LaPorte 12-7. Glen over Jimtown 14-10 as the kick after the safety will be taken. And getting to about the 40 of Marian.
Yeah, James Cornetti took that ball on the run and was one player from busting that up the seam for a touchdown for the Huskies. Now a 6:49, 24 zip lead. Run the ball, impose your will on that line like you have all game long. Anthony Gooby is coming in to be the signal caller here. And run this clock out, wave goodbye to the Knights, and celebrate.
So 1st and 10 from the 39. Gooby in the shotgun. He'll take the high snap, and he'll hand it off. And
just like I thought. It's scripted perfectly because now Will Solman, the 5'9" freshman running back, will get the majority of these carries here in the last 6:42. A first down, no, probably about a 7 or 8 yard run.
It's going to be a flag. So the 9th penalty now, 75 yards of penalties.
So when you talk about this game and you break this game down, about the only negative that you would be able to say about the Huskies was their lack of discipline on the field with the 9 penalties.
And it's going to be a 10-yard penalty. It'll be 1st and 11 from the 40. There's Gooby. Another high snap, and this one's going to go to Solman. He'll go up the middle, still on his feet, and wrestled down to the turf, but he will have enough for a first down.
Yeah, you talk about a burst up the middle. You talk about Biffo. You talk about Champlin. This little freshman has a burst up the middle.
As he's going to pick up 14 yards. More than enough for a first down.
And I shouldn't say a little. At 5'9", he's a stout 175 pounds.
And Huskies more than content with letting some time melt away into the September night here in South Bend. There's Gooby. Hands off to Solman. And he's down to about the 20. Still on his feet as he's tripped up heading towards the 15. He's close to another St. Joe first down.
Great vision by Solman. Started, took the handoff, went to his left, saw no hole, cut it back to the right, and got 9 yards out of the play.
So 5:25 remaining in the contest as St. Joe looking to add to it.
Jaden Snavely comes out. So one by one, I think St. Joe's starting to put some reserve offensive linemen. Jaden Snavely at 6'5", 315. Junior.
Gooby with Solman in the backfield. And that's the man that will get the football and goes up the middle. And he will have enough for a Huskies first down.
First down.
Number 18, Julian Ambritz, 5'8", sophomore, is now on the field as a wide out to the right.
So Ben Downey and company in no hurry to call a play. Finally, they have the play they want as they'll begin to head to the line of scrimmage as we're under 4.5 to play. And a timeout going to be taken by Ben Downey's squad. We'll take it with them. The Huskies, 4 minutes and 20 seconds away from their 4th win of the season. As you're watching Huskies football on the Regional Radio Sports Network. As Gooby hands off to Solman, who's inside the 5 and close to yet another first down. And he will be very close.
Little miscommunication on the handoff, but Solman just has a great feel for running the football. Franco Biffle is just going to run it where you tell him to run it, and if you're in his way, he's going to run you over. Let me see here. Number 22, Matt Champlin, is quick, but Solman has a natural way of running the football.
It'll be second and about half the football as Solman is going to go around the right side. He's in for a Huskies touchdown.
Nice job by the freshman. I believe had every carry on that drive. And if you're going to play a freshman, that's what you have to do. That's like bringing up a guy from AAA and letting him sit on the bench in baseball. If you're going to bring him up, you got to play him.
Oh, absolutely.
If your freshman's going to be on the field, you got to get him the ball, and you got to see what he can do. He's really, really talented. I really like him. Chicatano hustles onto the field to be the holder here. This is not Ryder Place.
As the snap is being held by Chicatano, and the kick is up and through the uprights
by number 36, Raymond Veselek.
Your score, St. Joe 31, Marian.
As St. Joe leads it 31-0. 5-play, 39-yard drive goes 3:08. Solman, 3-yard touchdown. And Coach,
put a fork in it, man.
The Huskies
have dominated this game from start to finish. They started in the trenches, on both sides of the ball, and they have dominated this game. Just a great, great win for Ben Downey. And one of the things that I really enjoyed hearing from Ben Downey in your pregame conversation, by the way, your pregame conversation with both coaches was outstanding.
Thank you.
But the one thing I really enjoyed hearing was his guys had their best week of practice.
Yes,
last
they did.
week.
Yes.
In that New Prairie game. And teams get better from Monday through Thursday. And I would venture to say that his team had a good week of practice last week also. As the baby powder comes out.
As the kick is short, and
so
Lucas Marr, rather. That'll be Braden Cerny, one of
so
the up men.
If I'm one of those up men, I'm catching it and running one of these times.
I know they
tell you. I know they tell you catch it or give the fair catch signal. But if I said, Coach, they kick me the ball there, I'm taking off, man. And you know what the coach is going to say? You ain't playing there ever again.
I didn't have to worry about that because I was always on the bench.
Yeah, well, I got nothing for that.
So it'll be Marian ball, 1st and 10 from their own 38-yard line. as Fimble's going to keep it himself, and he's going to be brought down at about the 42-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 4.
So Marian has an opportunity now to at least try and get some yardage here. And we all know what a great coach Mike Davidson is. And, some nights you have it, some nights you don't. But the one thing in this rivalry, I don't think I've ever been a part of the rivalry where any team has ever quit, regardless of the score.
As the handoff is going to be taken by Mrazinski, and he's into St. Joe territory.
Yeah, and that's the play going from right to left, a little misdirection that Marian has had the most success with tonight. I might run it every play.
Pickup of 14. It'll be a first down for the for the Knights, rather. As Mitch Fimble barking out the controls. And timeout going to be taken by Ben Downey and the St. Joe Huskies. As we'll step aside, we'll take it with them. As you're watching Huskies football here on the Regional Radio Sports Network.
If the world we live in spoke to you, it would have a torrent of things to say. It would say meaning is subjective. Belonging, just opt in. Be sure to comment and like. It would say followers, provide purpose. We say there is another path, where you battle to belong, where there's a cause to fight for, where you earn a place among the few, the proud, the Marines. Learn more at marines.com.
So it'll be 1st and 10 for the Knights out of the timeout. Ball resting at the St. Joe 46-yard line. Mitch Fimble will send Terrell Lane in motion. He'll take a couple step drop back. He's going to get flushed out of the pocket. And now Fimble running for his life. And he throws it. And the only people that could get it are the first responders.
Yeah, they almost made a great play coming out of the golf cart to make that catch.
I wouldn't get out of my golf cart to get my own golf ball, as I found that out in Myrtle Beach over the summer. So kudos to our first responders.
Yes, and Mitch Fimble was running for his life.
So 2nd and 10 from the 46. Fimble in the shotgun formation, standing at midfield. Fimble will take the snap. He'll hand off to Mrazinski, who slips at about the 45, but he'll move forward, and they'll spot him at about the 44-yard line. 2-yard pickup for the junior.
Prescott Horvath, the big left tackle at 6'8", 266, pulled that time and led the running back through the hole. It's a huge hole. If the running back would not have slipped, he might have gone all the way there.
3rd and 8 from the 44-yard line. Clock dips under a minute and 50 to go. Huskies going to start the season 4-0. Now the only question is whether or not they can keep the Knights off the scoreboard, as Fimble's pass on 3rd and 8 falls harmlessly to the turf. And that'll bring up 4th and 8.
Max Galloway applying the pressure there for St. Joe.
You got the second teamers in now for St. Joe. And these are huge minutes for the second teamers, because now it shows you on film day that the coaches get to watch you and grade you out on film. It may not play this year, but how they see you react on film could play a long way in your following years.
Mike Davidson keeps the offense on the field. 4th and 8 for the Knights. Yard line to get is the 36. And going absolutely nowhere is Gruber.
Absolutely nowhere, and a nice job by number 67, MJ Marsh, a 5'9" senior.
With the tackle for the Huskies, St. Joe takes over on offense.
As that's the second time Marian has turned the ball over on downs. And Sam Chicatano coming back in, as is Biffle and the entire cast of characters that started the ball game on offense for the Huskies. And
they're coming in for victory formation.
This is the genuflect offense. And Sam takes a knee. And what an absolutely dominating performance by the Huskies here in the Holy War. And Coach,
dominating.
Marian went 3 and out in their first possession. You knew it was going to be a slugfest. St. Joe scored first, and then they put it in cruise control.
Well, but both teams were kind of sleepwalking offensively early in this game, and both defenses were stout early. But Franco Biffle woke up. The offensive line for St. Joe woke up and continued to pound away. And St. Joe just played a magnificent game in the trenches tonight.
We invite you to stick around after the ball game. We'll name our players of the game.
Can we name them now? I'm good to go.
I know you're good to go. You're always good to go.
I'm good to go.
I mean, there are a plethora of St. Joe players that we could name. And
I got two. I got two that stick out to me.
And that's going to do it for this edition of the Holy War. Marian pitched a shutout on home turf last year. St. Joe returns the favor this year. 31-0 Huskies over the Knights. We'll step aside when we come back. We'll have final stats, final analysis. We'll name our players of the game, and we'll get you on your way as you're watching Huskies football here on the Regional Radio Sports Network.
Hi, this is Paul Condry of the Regional Radio Sports Network. That may be my professional title, but did you know that I'm also the son of a U.S. Navy World War II veteran and the proud father of a United States Marine? Let me share with you something very close to my heart. It's called the Semper Fi Fund and its program America's Fund, which provides immediate lifetime support for post-9/11 wounded, critically ill, and injured members of the U.S. Armed Forces, veterans, and their families to ease recovery and transition back home to their communities. The Semper Fi Fund, serving those who preserve our freedom. The basic idea that drives these efforts is simple. For as much as our heroes have sacrificed, they deserve the best care and support available in their hour of need, whenever it may occur. The Semper Fi Fund, a 4-star charity and an A+ rating, has served over 16,000 members since 2004. The Semper Fi Fund, serving those who preserve our freedom. For more information, visit them online at www.semperfifund.org.
Childhood cancer it's a long road. It's hard, but St. Jude has gotten us through it. St. Jude is hope that you have a chance at life. And it goes such a long way for every child diagnosed with cancer because everything that's learned is shared all over the world. It's awesome.
Finding cures, saving children. Learn more at stjude.org.
If the world we live in spoke to you, it would have a torrent of things to say. It would say meaning is subjective. Belonging, just opt in. Be sure to comment and like. It would say followers, provide purpose. We say there is another path, where you battle to belong, where there's a cause to fight for, where you earn a place among the few, the proud, the Marines. Learn more at marines.com.
At the Veterans Health Administration, we provide life-changing care to over 9 million veterans across more than 1,200 facilities nationwide.
Our hands are busy, competent, skilled, healing, helping, and friendly. A place where diverse teams come together hand in hand to provide full patient-centered care, and where even robots lend a hand.
Join hands with us. Learn more at vacareers.va.gov.
The fighting spirit of the Marine Corps is born of battles won. Battles won within, over enemies of fear, enemies of doubt. It's who we are. It's what we do. It's a promise made to you for more than 2 centuries. A promise of the Marines.
Back here at Father Bly Field, here on the campus of St. Joe High School, as the student body celebrates with their victorious Huskies football team. Huskies with a 31-0 defeat of the Marian Knights. The Huskies were able to do it offensively, defensively, and really made life miserable for the Knights all game long. Marian turned the ball over twice on downs. They had 2 safeties against them. It was just a complete dominating performance by the Huskies.
Yeah, a really dominating performance by the St. Joe student body, too. As they rushed the field, met their St. Joe Husky football team, and just really, really enjoying themselves. When you talk about your high school careers, you talk about things that you remember and things that stand out to you. I think that's really, really important, the fun that you have in high school. And whether it's as a student athlete or a participant, or whether it's as a student going to the contest, those are always things that you remember. And I know the students will remember this night when they charge the field. And the St. Joe Husky football team gave them something really to remember by, because their dominating performance was outstanding, both in the trenches, either the offensive line or the defensive line. They controlled the trenches, and when you do that, you most assuredly see a 31-0 thrashing, and that's what happened here tonight.
Final individual stats: Franco Biffle, 10 carries, 83 yards, 3 touchdowns. Antoine Ross, 4 carries for 30. Matt Chaplin, who took a bulk of the work in the second half, 11 carries, 70 yards. Sam Shikatano, 4 for 21. Anthony Gubi, a carry for 4. Will Solman, 5 carries, 39 yards, and a touchdown. Dallas Downey, a carry for 6. And Raskowski, a carry for 31. Anthony Gubi, 0 of 2 passing. Sam Shikatano, 6 of 8 for 50 yards. But the passing game didn't have to be effective when the running game was doing its work. Dallas Downey, 2 catches for 20 yards. Franco Biffle, 2 catches for 10. Connor Gallagher, a catch for 15. Matt Champlin, catch for 5. The Huskies as a team rushed 37 times for 284 yards and 6 of 10 passing for 50. The only bad spot, I think Ben Downey will say, 9 penalties for 80 yards in the contest. For the Marian Knights, Vinnie Gruber, 12 carries, 43 yards. Parker Mrozinski, 2 for 16. Mitch Fimble, 7 carries, minus 4 yards. Terrence Lane, 5 carries, 22 yards. Lucas Marr, 4 carries for negative 16 yards. Oliver Sager, a carry for negative 14 yards. Marian as a team, 31 carries, 47 yards. Mitch Fimble, 2 of 4 passing for 18 yards. Lucas Marr, 1 of 9 passing for 12 yards and an interception. Only 77 yards of total offense for the Marian Knights here in tonight's contest. And Terrence Lane, the bright spot receiving-wise, he had all 3 catches for 30 yards. Marian committed 3 penalties for 11 yards. And there's only one more thing left to do here at the Holy War, and that's for us to name our players of the game. And if you're on St. Joe, you've got a plethora of young men that are worthy of player of the game status.
I mean, I do, but there were really a couple that really stood out to me as this game went on. And from the offensive standpoint, I mean, Marian had no answer for Franco Biffle. Now, I know Franco Biffle was outstanding because of his offensive line, but there's no answer for him when there's a crease and he can get a head of steam up. He's going to truck you, or he's going to juke you a little bit. But Franco Biffle from the offensive side was outstanding. And we called his name, 10, 12 times. I thought Mason Kazmierzak from the inside linebacking position was just outstanding. And I read he read his keys. He got to the gaps. He had tackles for losses tonight, and he just led a whole defense that was really outstanding.
And for the Marian Knights, they tried to get all kinds of things going, but against this punishing defense, they tried and tried, just could not penetrate that defensive wall of black shirts in St. Joe.
Yeah, no, just a dominating performance by the Huskies. Now the Huskies got to regroup, to take a little time and enjoy this, because these rivalry games, man, you just can't put these out of your system. This is going to stay. This has got to stay with you tonight. Tomorrow, I'm pretty sure the Huskies will come in, get some rehab in, work in for their injured guys, and then watch some film. But then Elkhart Penn is it goes from tough to tougher next week for the Knights, as Penn is at Marian and St. Joe is at Adams. There's never a breather in high school athletics, because I've always used the mantra in my coaching career: respect all and fear none. And so St. Joe is going to go to Adams, respecting Adams but not fearing Adams.
And they're going to go right down the road at School Field, just a couple of miles away. Player of the game for Marian, Vinny Gruber, tried as he may. 12 carries, 43 yards, and those were tough yards that he picked up against this St. Joe defense.
Yeah, tough sledding for Vinny. Had a couple of those misdirection cutbacks, one for 31 yards, one for 15 yards on the same drive. But Marian got down to the St. Joe, I want to say 4 or 5 yard line, couldn't punch it in, which then, for all intents and purposes, was the game. St. Joe was only leading 15-0 at that point, and the Marian faithful had to think, if we can punch this in, we're down there, we can get ourselves back in the game. They couldn't. St. Joe drove the field and scored a touchdown and put a fork in it.
So Vinny Gruber, player of the game for the Marian Knights. Mason Kazmierzak and Franco Biffle, the co-players of the game for the St. Joe Huskies. Our next broadcast of St. Joseph Huskies football will be in 3 weeks, Friday, October 3rd, when the Riley Wildcats of James Whitcomb Riley High School come to Father Blythe Field. Kickoff at 7 p.m., 6:30 pregame show with myself and Ron Aklinski. We hope to have Megan Keeble with us for that game. We want to thank our sponsors, Cubit Network, McDonald Physical Therapy, Liuna, as well as Beef O'Brady's. We want to thank our two phenomenal head coaches, Ben Downey of the South Bend St. Joseph Huskies and Mike Davidson of the Mishawaka Marian Knights, as well as Mr. Stephen Anthony, the athletic director here at St. Joe. That's going to do it for our coverage of Huskies football tonight. For my broadcast partner, Ron Aklinski, for the incredible Megan Keeble at the camera, my name is J.P. Gilbert. Once again, the final score in the Holy War in 2025, Huskies of St. Joe, they move to 4-0 on the year. They get ready for the Adams Eagles with a thoroughly convincing 31-0 win. From all of us at the Regional Radio Sports Network, we bid you adieu.